What's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Claroos.
And this is the Nerdy.
The Wordy.
The Book Club. That's right. We are back for day 6 of Wind and Truth.
Hell yeah.
This time we're discussing Brandon Sanderson's book, Day 6. Chapters, interludes 9 through 12.
Chapters, interludes.
Chapters, interludes. When I make the thumbnails, it says interludes 9 through 12, and I feel like that looks weird because people are like, "Oh, what about the chapters in between?" I'm like, "No, we talk about those."
Because it goes from this to this.
It's from 9 to 12. Yeah. Good morning to everyone who's here live today.
Good morning.
I'm assuming it's going to be a light live today.
It's a holiday. Yeah.
Yesterday was the American Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
A day when Americans are thankful that they were able to defeat the Native Americans and take their land from them.
Love that for you guys.
Yeah.
For us, it's we get it a month early because Canada was like, we should have a long weekend once a month.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it goes.
Love that.
Anyway, support Native American charities this weekend.
Yeah.
Or, hey, Small Business Saturday tomorrow. Consider finding a local Native American business and giving them some support.
I was going to say, Happy Capitalism Day, friends.
Yes, today's Black Friday. I'm sure there's stuff to buy. If you're watching the show while shopping, please let us know if you find any great deals in the chat so that we don't miss them just because we're here.
That's so fair. You know what we should have done? We should have had a sale on our merch, but I don't even know how to do that.
Oh, it's easy.
Oh.
We just cut our margin.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't do that, but if you want a shirt, you can still get it.
Yeah. Do you think anyone's wildly offended by what I said?
Yeah, if they're, like,
probably
MAGA, if they wear red ball caps.
Official ACM says Thanksgiving started as a national holiday after a world war. Not sure how the Pilgrim's fable got entwined. That's fascinating.
In the U.S.?
Yeah, apparently. I don't know how the Pilgrims got entwined either. But
couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I don't know.
But you see all the photos. Yeah, it's weird.
It is such
People
a weird.
Are weird.
It's a weird holiday because it is just so like. What I find so interesting about American holidays is that there's kind of 7 big ones, and they all sort of embody the 7 deadly sins. And Thanksgiving is gluttony. Okay. And I wonder if anyone's ever made a project that kind of gets into that.
What are the other ones?
Well, Valentine's Day would be lust.
Okay.
Right?
Is Christmas greed?
Yes, without a doubt.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Turning the story of baby Jesus into the most...
I get gifts.
Into 6 weeks of the insane shopping.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what the other big holidays are.
You said that there were 7 of them. I don't know.
Which one is anger?
Oh, that would be 4th of July. Yeah.
No, 4th of July is pride.
Yeah, okay. There
you know
go,
what I mean?
Yeah.
4th of July is pride.
Yeah, 100%.
What? Okay, no, wait. I think there's legitimately something here. I think I've come up with my first brilliant idea of my life. The holidays are how the 7 deadly sins keep Americans thinking that capitalism is a good thing.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that's absolutely true.
Victor Desanda says, what's Halloween? Halloween might be wrath. Trick or treat. Pranking people's houses.
Yeah.
Getting vengeance on people, but, like, wearing a mask and, like... I think the Halloween might be wrath.
Okay, sure. Yeah, we could go with that.
Yeah.
If you wiggle it in there.
Fascinating.
Easter. Easter is the other one.
Labor Day.
Wait, Labor Day is like a big holiday for you guys?
What are the 7 deadly sins? Wait, okay. What are the 7 deadly sins? Labor Day is a huge holiday.
Really? Why? What do you do for it? No, it's just a long weekend. It's not a huge holiday.
Yeah, but it's when people like go up to the 7 deadly sins. Okay.
New Year's is wrath that I have to go back to work. That's very funny.
Oh, sloth.
Yeah, haven't you watched Full Metal Alchemist?
I have. I just can't remember them all.
What's up, Arzu? How you doing?
Oh, interesting. Hey, what's up, Arzu? We're currently talking about how the big American holidays all represent a different one of the 7 deadly sins.
Is Labor Day envy, I guess? I don't know. You're like...
That's so funny. No, Labor Day's sloth because it's the one day you don't work.
Oh. Okay.
Anyway, today's podcast is brought to you by Heroes Without Borders 2.
That's us.
Heroes Without Borders 2 is us trying to raise money for Doctors Without Borders. We've raised over $16,000, and since you're listening to this, you might be a Sanderson fan. You might like the Stormlight Archive, which means you might want to play the Stormlight TTRPG, but how do you do that if you don't have a Dungeon Master? You donate to charity, and then I'm your Dungeon Master. There are seats available at the table for a private one-shot in January of early January, February, probably 2026.
Yeah.
To come play the Stormlight RPG with me. The reason why I'm wishy about that is that the date isn't set. We will set the date around people's schedules. But if you would like to play the Stormlight RPG, if you'd like for me to be your Dungeon Master, click on the link down below. Go donate to Heroes Without Borders 2. And make sure you come by the stream tomorrow, the 29th at 7 p.m. Eastern.
We're back.
Get into Arc 2 as we have AJ Winter's Tales, Ryan Keeley, Latinos Against Spooky Shit, and Oathbreaker Carrie are going to be investigating a haunted halfway hotel halfway up the mountain Creatizo, where all creation lives before we create it. It's going to be a fun little one-shot.
Hell yeah. It's going to be great.
Very excited to share that with you all. Thank you to everyone who's already donated. Thank you for getting us over 16,000. Last year we raised a little over 17,000. So the sequel is definitely going to beat that. And genuinely appreciate you all so much. That's our sponsor. So let's get into book club. Clarus, day 6 of Wind and Truth is in Das Bag.
Sure is.
How do you feel about it?
It's a day. It's been a day. You know what I mean, chat?
They did get through a whole day.
They did. Barely. I don't know how I feel about it, chat. This day was a little rough for me. In particular, the very last interlude, like the very last thing that we left off on, and I think that's a really difficult place to then come back to book club.
Yeah.
Because it's just it's the freshest thing in my mind, and I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I don't think it's good.
I mean,
I don't
I
think
think
how
this
I
was
feel
the
is
worst
good.
day so far in terms of narrative momentum. I think very little happens. And what does happen is mostly interesting. Mostly, except for the conversations about how people feel about things, which I think is just... I understand the idea of wanting the book to have people's points of view, having a lot of points of view. I think the problem is that when you have so many scenes where characters are just discussing having a plan, it really bogs the book down. And I think that there's so many ways that this book could have done the exact same things that it is doing, but passed information to the audience about them in a different way.
Yeah.
Like, it's not necessarily that the plot of this book is bad, right? It isn't. I think the plot on paper is interesting.
Yeah.
Disconnected, and I think that, Zeth and Kaladin should be in their own book, but the incessant talking about having a plan is really... It's baffling to me. Like, I don't really understand how the feedback on the book wasn't get to the point.
Well, I want to acknowledge this right at the top of the book club. I know Brandon Sanderson has said after this book that there needs to be more time in between releases.
Yeah.
He's
slowing down.
Very well known for being able to just churn out books. And he's got a lot of awesome ideas. But I do think that this book in particular highlights that the execution sometimes needs more time. And he himself has acknowledged that. And so I want to before we get into the things that we like and dislike, I do want to acknowledge this off the top of book club for anyone's getting in the comments that Brandon Sanderson himself has talked about this kind of thing.
He
and
hasn't said that that's the reason why he's slowing down.
What I mean? But he has said that he needs more time between books. Like there needs to be more there.
Yeah. That's not how that is how I think we took it. That's not exactly what he said. I don't want to pathologize him too much. I understand what you're saying though, and I think that is what that a Mistborn Era 3 message was about. Even if his language about it was more like, it's more about these other things. I'm like, is it, or is it the reaction to Wind and Truth was not what you expected, right?
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know if it's because of this book specifically.
Oh, I definitely think it is.
I don't know. I think it is.
Yeah.
Right, like I think it is. But again, we don't know, and we have not spoken to him. Like this is just purely our inferences from what he has said about the time that he has had to write these.
I think that if it isn't about the response to this book, I think that is lunacy. I don't understand how you could be as consistently beloved as an author for as long as he has been, and then put out the end of a series. I know there's 5 more books, but this is the end of part 1, right? And put it out and get the response. Like, I don't know how as an author you could have the goodwill that you have, put out a book, and then have just thumbnails being like, this book made me feel like I'm done with everything this man writes. I don't know how you could see that and not respond to it.
Yeah.
Right? If you get that response from an audience that loves you.
Yeah.
And is like 20 plus books deep. It's the same thing with Marvel. Like, I think that one of Marvel's biggest mistakes was not responding to the criticisms of those first few movies after Endgame faster.
Right.
Right? And it feels like now they're starting to course correct a little bit. And obviously movie production makes that really complicated.
Yeah.
But I feel like they got a lot of heavy criticism on the post Endgame stuff really right away.
Yeah.
And then they responded to it so slowly that now, like, it just feels like nobody gives a shit about Marvel anymore. If Brandon Sanderson wants people to keep the hype for the Cosmere in the way that they have, obviously there are people who love this book and are going to keep that hype going, but he's also going to need to respond to the fact that so many people who loved his books, not haters of him, people who loved his books up until this point went, I think I'm done.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that if you don't take stock of why that happened, I think that you can run the risk of going down the direction of the MCU, where you could put out a movie that I think Thunderbolts is a remarkable film, and it bombs because people just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I thought Fantastic Four was good. Yeah, I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. Like, I thought it was a good movie.
Yeah.
I was surprised it didn't make more money.
Yeah.
Right? And I think the reality of Marvel is they didn't respond to the criticisms fast enough to realize kind of the tenor of the discussion around their properties was changing as fast as it was.
Right.
And I don't know if I'm going to love or hate this book. I don't know if right now I like it. I don't love it. I think it is deeply flawed, but also huge on a scale that, like, I think is interesting.
Yeah.
I think the attempt is very interesting more than I think the quality of it is good.
Yeah.
Or great. I think the quality of it is good, but
fair.
As opposed to, like, Oathbringer, which I still hold is one of the greatest fantasy novels I've ever read.
Yeah.
This just pales in comparison because Oathbringer was so good that my expectations for how this is going to end is so high.
Right.
But I do think that, you know, when you have the people who love your stuff more than I ever have going, oh boy, I don't know what this is.
Right.
I think you have to take stock of that and take a step back. Or else you're just going to, like, plod into problem. I think the same thing with Wheel of Time. Like, I wish Robert Jordan had put out some of the slog and gone, hey, maybe this isn't working, right? Hey, maybe putting these out to keep Tor afloat is not making good content.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that your audience will tell you what they want from you. And I understand the idea that, like, well, you shouldn't have to cater to your audience. And that's true if you're selling, you know, to an indie audience. Brandon Sanderson is in the position of being a corporation that has employees that he wants to pay.
Yeah.
And I know that because I have 2 employees, and I will do anything to keep them paid.
Right.
You know what I mean? I will make whatever content the audience wants to make sure that Brandon can pay his rent.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it is...
Not Brandon Sanderson.
No, Brandon, our editor. They know who Brandon is. But...
Just want to be clear.
This whole thing changed for me once we had employees. Because I was like, oh, there is an expectation now that I have for myself that involves keeping them fed.
Yeah.
And if if Brandon is going to have Dragonsteel be the size that it is,
Yeah.
and not lose that steam, I do think he's going to have to like not course correct. I think it's not about like changing course, because I think the course is good. I think he just needs to allow for other people to step in and be editors on the what this is, which is just, this book's a mess.
Well, Victor Desana says 20% of the book was cut. This is 20% shorter. That's crazy.
Okay, but here's the thing. It's not, for me, it's not about the length of the book as much as it is what is how much is interesting in what is in the book.
It's like when you do the crazy hot scale. You know what I mean? That you have to stay like and I guess it's the opposite. You have to stay above the line, like length and interest.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It has to be above the line of interest
100%.
the longer that it gets. And I think, that might not even be a straight line. That line might like curve upwards in a way that is so dependent on each individual. But yeah, I don't mind reading a chunky book. I mean, I would say Shields is pretty chunky.
It's not that chunky, it's dense.
No, but it is.
It's much more dense than this.
I guess it is like sizable, but I was never not like interested, right? Like, and I do find some of the stuff in When in Truth not as interesting, and I think most of Chad agrees with us that the spiritual realm stuff is a little hit and miss, right? Everyone seems to like the Kaladin Zeth stuff and Adolin as well, because those are the most active parts.
But even the Adolin section, I like it because I like Adolin as a character.
Well, but it is also active, like.
But it isn't. It is even Adolin is just reacting to what the singers are doing, right? And I
think it's active in his relationships with the people around him, especially Yanagan.
100%. That is so not related to the plot of this book, which is the problem. The thing I am most interested in this book right now is Adolin and Asmir.
But they're on the defense.
The thing that is happening in that plotline in this day is not the fight. It is Adolin playing cards with a young boy, right?
I mean, it was the fight yesterday.
Oh, sure. I'm only talking about day 6. Arzu, thank you for gifting 10 memberships.
Oh,
also,
shit, we missed a couple. Oh, my God.
I know.
I saw the books falling out of the corner of my eye, and I was like, where did those come from?
Judah Isaac, thank you for that super chat.
Thank you for the super chat.
It's one of those things where I personally love the book, but also wish Sando took maybe another year to revise. Amazing ideas needed more time to cook. Kind of similar to how I feel about The Last Jedi. Oh, interesting.
More time to cook, I think, is the best way to phrase that, because you're right. The ideas are there. The ingredients are there, right?
It just feels like it needs to be edited.
You got a good cookie, but they're a little goopy.
Linus Fickstrom, thank you for coming back from member for 6 months. Length doesn't matter. It's how you use it. That's so true.
Exactly. 100%.
And Arzu, thank you again for 10 gift members. That's incredibly kind of you.
Appreciate you so much.
You're so sweet. I will say one of the things that I think hurts Brandon Sanderson in moments like this is in books like this is he is not a beautiful writer, and his prose isn't particularly interesting on its own.
No, his descriptions
are very rarely evocative to me. They're very plain and they're very straightforward.
He gets a few bangers.
Oh, yeah. Now and then.
Yeah.
But there are writers who can write a conversation in a way where I feel like I am being whisked around a room. And that's just not the way that Brandon Sanderson writes dialogue. It is so... When Brandon Sanderson is writing dialogue, I very rarely could tell you where people are in the room in relationship to each other.
Yeah.
And I think that is the power of really beautiful prose, right? I think there are authors who sculpt the conversation and the room into a story in a way that just... you feel all of the intricacies of it.
Yeah.
And once characters start talking in Brandon Sanderson books, everything else kind of disappears into just... what in this book is very heavy-handed at times dialogue that I think unfortunately gets a little bit boring to read. or in our case, listen to in the audiobook, where it is just people talking.
Yeah.
One of the things about the spiritual realm that's so rough for me right now is I don't care about the anchors. The whole spiritual realm storyline has been about finding anchors, and it's just we've spent so much time on it, and it doesn't feel like it's gone anywhere. And I just feel like there could have been a way to make our characters have to actively do something that felt a little bit more connected to the spiritual realm than just finding stuff.
Yeah.
Like this weird in-memory fetch quest dialogue that's just been repeated, and they were like, we got the honor blade, no more anchor talk, and I was like, thank God. And then we spent a whole chapter where they're like, oh my God, we gotta find an anchor, and then Dalinar's like, I actually have a power that lets me be the anchor. And I was like, I don't think that this is interesting. And I don't know what to do with that because I want to like this book more than I am. Because it's the end. It's the end of this. We've been reading Stormlight for like 9 months, I think. 10 months. Like, it's the end of this giant part of our life.
Yeah.
And it's all and now we're just like learning. We're reading a textbook about stuff that happened 7,000 years ago that is only mildly interesting.
I definitely thought that the spiritual realm would be my favorite part of this book.
Yeah, me too.
I had high expectations for it. I was really excited for it. I thought there'd be fascinating moments and high stakes and I really just haven't learned a ton of new information.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like I know the Heralds any better, really. Like, I don't think that we've established enough to keep that segment of this book interesting.
Well, and one of the sides of that I think is a big problem for me is the seeding information so that something can happen later, but that doesn't have any real relevance right away. Sometimes you do that, but you also have to have some information be relevant in the moment. And this book doesn't. Everything is information that will be relevant at some point later.
Well, and my biggest fear, honestly, is that we're going to get to the end of this book, and this book is going to be just a bunch of seeding and Easter eggs for book 6 that we won't see for however many years.
One of the things that bugged me was last week in the book club, we talked about how Taln tried to kill Cultivation.
Right.
And that was why they were the final of the Heralds, and that's why they weren't supposed to have a weapon, because they tried to kill Cultivation. And I was like, oh, this is going to be relevant to the memories that we're watching. And it just, that we've now moved thousands of years past that, and the fact that Taln tried to kill Cultivation and wasn't supposed to have a weapon was never relevant to anything that happened in the intervening years.
Yeah.
It just didn't matter. And I'm like, okay, it's mildly interesting that Taln tried to kill Cultivation at some point for some reason that we don't know, but I guess we've just moved on from that. Like,
yeah, it doesn't actually matter.
It's just like it's footnotes. The plot, Dalinar's and Navani's plot, is they are reading historical footnotes.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
And I don't know what to do with that. As a reader, I don't know how to engage in it. I don't know how to because this book keeps telling me this is interesting, but it won't matter because all of these other interesting tidbits we've dropped haven't really mattered.
I just wanted to get to the point.
So you don't need to get invested in this, but it's kind of interesting that Honor gave up on the Heralds before Aharetiem.
That's the first really interesting thing, because I do actually believe that will have a big part of the rest of this book.
I fucking hope so, but I'm at this point I'm so unconvinced that it will.
Fair.
And I think that's the biggest problem with what Brandon Sanderson has done across Stormlight Archive, is because he's dropped so many plot lines and so many interesting ideas. He's just kind of been like, this is interesting, out the door.
Yeah.
I am at the point where I just don't have faith that anything that I find myself interested in will be followed up on anymore.
Right.
And it's tough. It's really tough to feel like I'm having themes begun and never followed through on.
Yeah.
And just to introduce, it's like, God, I have so many ideas. I just have to put them all in the book. It doesn't really matter if they finish. They just all have to be there. I need to get everything in the book. And then you get to the end of the book and you're like, I feel like I'm stumbling over ideas trying to get to the things he wants to actually care about.
Yeah.
But I'm stumbling. I'm there's too many potholes in the road and the pothole is this really interesting idea. It just doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
And that leads to this like feeling of exhaustion of being like, I want to care. I really want to give a shit about some of these things. Tall maybe killing cultivation. I was like, oh, cool. 5,000 years later, that did not matter.
Yeah.
The forming of the heralds skipped over. Wasn't an important event in history. How? How is the heralds, or sorry, not the heralds, the radiants. How is the heralds giving powers to other people not an important enough thing for this book to be about?
Yeah.
We just jumped over that.
Yeah, like, it doesn't matter.
We jumped to like Desolation 5. I was like, what? Why? It feels like everyone else getting superpowers would have been a really cool thing to see.
Yeah, it could have been.
You know what I mean? It feels like that there could have been some plot there. There could have been some relevance to like how Dalinar and the Radiants have to interact with each other in the present. Mm-hmm. And we've gone through all these. We haven't seen any Radiants. They haven't met a past Radiant. They've only followed the Heralds. And
yeah, they saw that one guy that's going to be the first to, like, give up his blade. Catharak, welcome back to the Nerds Radiant for 6 whole months.
Yeah.
That's half a dang year. We've seen him do better than in Wind and Truth, though. And I think that is the biggest...
Oh, 100%.
I think that is... It definitely is coloring my view of this book, is because I know what Brandon Sanderson is capable of. There's so much of his stuff that I do dearly love. And I'm like, I know you got this in you. And it's... Tonadio Soup says... needed longer to simmer.
Yeah.
And I agree. Needed longer to cook, for sure. Judah Isaac, thank you. Welcome back to the Nerds Radiant. Honestly... could have summarized some anchor quests. Yeah. We spent too long on them learning things that, like, some of the stuff we already knew as the audience. And so it just felt...
Yeah.
It was not that interesting.
Yeah, like, one of the weird things about this book is the reveal... In the first vision, when the humans get to Roshar, the book treats it like a reveal... that the heralds had lashings before... that they had lashings on Ashen.
But we already knew that because that's how it died.
Yeah, but we knew that they were lashing because that's how they destroyed Ashen. And it just felt... the book treats it like a reveal, but to me it made our characters look dumb.
Yeah.
Because they should have thought of it. Like, they knew this.
It is hard to keep track of who knows what.
I know. But Navani knew. Blue, what's up? Howdy. Arzu, thank you for being here. I adore you. Thank you for running our
lives, our book club.
The book club. And for keeping us on track with the reactions. Everyone thank Arzu for that. Arzu, also, remember to tell us what your free reaction is to the book. Arzu says, the problem of this book is you almost lose trust in the author, but it's also why the book improves quite a bit on a reread. I just can't imagine rereading some of this book. There's parts of it that I would, but there are long sections of this book I would skip.
Well, I almost want to reread it because we've talked, there are a lot of people online that were like, I had to put this book down in the middle. Like, like I needed a break.
Yeah.
I am curious if I come back to this book in a few months after finishing it. I want to know what my reading experience of this would be without book club.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so I will let you know when I get around to it, because I do plan on it, but...
All right, we're going to start going chapter by chapter. We need to stop just complaining.
But before we do that...
Catherick says this book has gone worse for me on reread. This is just our... Yeah, we're fine. Okay. Y'all, Maverin, Stormfather, _ so many names, sent us a box. And this box is
What's
from
in the box?
the Dragonsteel. We were supposed to do this at the top of the show. Maverin, I'm so sorry this is 30 minutes in. But this is a nice break between...
going into the chapters?
The complaining of the chapters. Maverin sent us a box. It is from the Dragonsteel warehouse.
Hell yeah.
We have no idea what's in here.
No idea. What do you guys think? Place your bets in chat.
Maverin, whatever this is, thank you.
We've been sitting with this box being like, what's inside? But we can't open it.
What's inside? Oh. All right, we have stickers for Light Day. Oh, cool. Different cities around the Cosmere.
Oh, that's cool. The Forest of Hell one is sick. So I wonder if I can get it to focus. Nice.
Thank you, Maverin, for some stickers. And then Oh my god, there's boxes in the boxes.
Oh.
There's
Oh my
3
God.
boxes in the boxes.
3 boxes. Okay, okay. Alright. My guess is gonna be it's Mistborn then if we have 3 boxes.
Oh, that makes sense. Well, Mistborn what?
Well, there's 4 books in Era 2, so...
No, I know, but what are these?
I don't know.
Are there, like, new covers that came out or something? Is it the secret projects?
I don't know, maybe.
This one, actually, this one says Hero of Ages. So I think it's Hero of Ages.
Wow! I didn't even look. Oh my god. What?
Maverin.
What? Oh my god. I can't get this open! Ah!
Maverin, you did not.
Here we go.
No way.
Oh my god, it has like a warning on the front. It's like, don't use hand lotion or eat while reading.
Things like sweat, lotion, and hand sanitizer might contribute to rubbing off foil. Due to the artisan nature of these books and the texture on the leather, it is perfectly normal for there to be light imperfections in the foil. This adds to the individual character of the book. No 2 copies are perfectly alike. Maverin, you are a mad lad.
Oh my god. Thank you so much.
It's... What the fuck?
They're so pretty.
Well, the weather outside is frightful. I got Christmas music in my head now. Holy shit, we should have saved these for the 25th.
Delightful. I know. This should have been our Christmas present.
Maverin, if you told me I could have not bought Clarice a Christmas present, I could have just opened these with her.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It's so nice.
It's so big. Maverin, this is... Oh shit, that's gorgeous. I think that's Steve Argyle.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It definitely is. Yeah, we've got the other Vin behind us.
How do they smell? Oh, that's a good question.
I don't know.
Delicious. Oh my god. Oh.
Wow.
Oh. Wow. Holy fuck, is that beautiful.
It's in color.
Oh, the like chapter headers are in color.
I don't know if you can see that. Wow. Okay.
Look at that art.
White balance is going fucking crazy over here. Damn.
Wow. Maverin, this is an unbelievable...
Oh, there's ours. There's the one that we have.
Yeah, we have this on metal. Yeah. Because if it's not in metal, it's not true. Maverin, this is an unbelievable gift.
Thank you so much.
I have no words.
Yeah. Damn.
I swear to God, if you get your lotiony ass hands on these books.
I don't wear lotion. Like, what are you talking about?
Maverin, this is an incredible gift. Thank you so much. And thank you for everything you've donated to the charity event. Seriously.
Yeah, seriously. I love how just absolutely chaotic it's been.
Wow.
Damn.
I feel like we need to buy nicer shelves.
We could just have a floating shelf up there that just is these books beside Vin. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or like below or above Vin.
Yeah.
This is still my favorite of his series.
Yeah.
It just... These characters... Wait, is Well of Ascension the longest of the 3? Yeah. By a lot.
Yeah.
I like a lot of his books, but this is my favorite.
Yeah.
Maverin, I have no words. That is a gift unparalleled, my friend. We have to get back to the show, but I would talk about these for an hour.
Yeah. Holy shit. Thank you so much.
Fuck. I'm...
A sander shelf. Yes. Damn.
Holy shit, they're heavy.
Yeah.
All right.
They are chunky.
Maverin, wow. Thank you.
See them back there.
Yeah, they're right
Beside
there.
Vin.
Beside Vin, our girl. Where were we? What?
We haven't started yet. Technically.
Interlude 9. Zyle is being tortured by Axendwith for his breath. And he's like, I'm good. I can delete my memories of torture, so there's no long-term effects, which I thought was a very funny way of phrasing it. Um,
yeah, true.
I still experience the torture, but I can delete my memories of torture.
Yeah, he basically went, I'm gonna be a mother that experiences birth, you know? He's like, I'm gonna actually just get rid of that because otherwise
I won't have another
one. So delete.
And then Axendwith is like, yeah, but I have a pain real now. And Zyle knows what a pain real is, which is interesting to me.
Why? He probably fucking invented it.
No. Navani invented it.
Yeah, no. I just mean, like, he's worked so closely with, like, Gavilar for however many years that, like, I don't know. Also, Navania invented them forever ago. Like, yeah, everyone would know what it is. People just have them.
I guess.
It's not, like, brand new technology, really.
I don't think people would have pain. I would hope that Navani is limiting the spread of pain reals at least a little bit.
I don't think you can.
What do you mean?
Anyone can just capture a spread and put it in there.
Oh, no, I understand that, but I would hope that you're not telling people how pain reals work. That's a wild thing to say that people have them everywhere. A torture device?
Yeah.
I don't think those are everywhere. I don't think Navani was like, hey, I'm publishing all of my work and I'm including... There are some things you don't include in your publishing. You know what I mean? There are some times you come up with something and you're like, ooh, maybe I don't tell the world about this one.
Maybe.
Yeah. I hope I hope he found out for like some like sneaky reason. And not because Navani is being flippant with letting the world know how a pain real works. Pain reals also reduce pain. Oh, fuck, that's right. They go both ways.
Oh.
Right, they're bisexual. Damn it.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to put them out there because they are saving lives.
Yeah. Damn. Well.
Anyway, she wants his breath. I don't know what the fuck this is about.
What, she wants investiture?
I like accent. I don't know. It's one of those interludes where I'm like, maybe this will be relevant later. Maybe it won't. We'll find out in a book yet to be unwritten.
Unwritten?
Or yet to be written.
Interlude 10, The Moment of Decision, which is Odium. And he's just watching Shinovar, and Cultivation is like, hey, are you sure you want to do this, bud? And he's like, you know what? Actually, you know what? I want to think about it. I'm going to take 3, 2, 1. Yeah, no, I'm going to do it. I'm good. I'm going to fuck everybody up.
Yeah. I think what's interesting about this is more the idea that he thinks that because someone will eventually conquer the Cosmere, that he should be the one to do it. I don't know that I agree that the Cosmere will definitely be conquered by someone. But it is... Odium, this is one of those chapters where I'm like, Taravangian Odium is falling into the uninteresting villain category for me, and we'll talk more about it in Interlude 12. But the like, someone's going to conquer everything one day, so it should be me, is not a motivation that I find particularly interesting.
Yeah.
But weirdly, these interludes are making me more interested in Cultivation. Like, what?
Yeah, true.
What the fuck did she think was gonna happen?
Here's the thing. I think, based on what the book says, I think Cultivation was like, yo, old Odium, he's too fucked. He cannot be trusted. He's too violent. He's too destructive. It's just gonna end badly for everybody. At least a new Odium, there is a chance. Mm-hmm. And I think that was more the thinking, is that, well, maybe at least there is a chance. Although, clearly, Cultivation is disappointed.
Yeah. I think that Cultivation is weirdly responsible for so much of this series, and we don't know much about her.
Yeah.
Like, Cultivation's motivations now are the reason why all of this has gone down. And I don't know what those motivations are.
Well, now I'm like, okay, so why did Talon try to kill her?
Yeah. No, yeah, it is a great question, right? I need the book to start getting into her more, because clearly she's wildly important.
Yeah.
And it just feels like we've spent so little time with her, but she's the one who set Dalinar down his path. She sent Lift down her path. She sent Taravangian down his path. Talon tried to kill her. Like, what? She is at the center of the entire series.
Yeah.
And I think that we need... I want to start spending more time with what that means. And, because right now, she feels a little bit outside the story. She feels like a device to just put pieces where Brandon Sanderson needs them to be.
Yeah.
And I'd like for it to feel a little bit more motivated than that. And I think there's plenty of room for that. I mean, I think where it's at right now is fine. But I think that if we get to the end of this book without getting into what she was trying to accomplish a little bit, I think it'll feel weird.
Yeah.
That we spent so much time with her manipulating everything. Only for her to just sort of be a plot device.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cultivation is Taravangian talks here about how he is now one. He has merged the emotion and the...
Yeah, he has talked himself into being a terrible person.
Yeah. And unfortunately has lost either side, really, in becoming that.
Yes,
100%. Judah Isaac, thank you for that super chat.
Thank you.
This is where I was like, cultivation is part of the problem. Because, girly, what you mean you spent thousands of years planning and this is what happened? Because, Jesus. Yes.
Yeah, I don't think she's necessarily very, good at it. I do think that making Taravangian... she didn't make him, but, I think that it was desperate. I think it was out of desperation. Because, Reyes, right? Because Reyes was just too fucking unhinged. We can't deal with this guy. We just gotta take him off the board. He's too unpredictable. But it's been thousands of years, and this was the best that she could come up with, and that's not great. Do better. Get good.
Yeah. Jeb Poulter, missed you too. Sorry we didn't have book club last week, y'all. I was in fucking Philadelphia breaking my back.
No, you didn't do that until
Friday
about 15 hours later.
It's true. It was 2 a.m. Drunk 2 a.m. decisions that mean now I hobble around my own house. Hey. It's fine. I am better. But I'm in pain. My back is okay. We're 44 minutes in and I'm still sitting here. So that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are going to get into day 6, chapter 69. Nice. Radical philosophy. I was the epigraphs here being the epilogue of Oathbringer was interesting, and I did not even once we got all of them, I didn't really understand what the purpose of them was here, other than, oh shit, I need epigraphs.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the purpose was either, but I did find them mildly interesting. I just don't think that they were connected to what was going on.
Yeah, I don't know. Nail has fucked up all of Kaladin's plans. Zeph is like, oh shit, daddy's home. I gotta behave myself. Yeah. And so we just take a few steps back on the journey of this book. Unwind some of the work that we've done.
Yes. However,
and have the most annoying conversations I've ever read in my entire life.
Oh, yeah. If I were Kaladin, I would be so fucking frustrated. Because first of all, Kaladin acknowledges.
Yeah.
Kaladin acknowledges that he is not the person to have moral debates with a being that is thousands of years old. Right? Yeah. Like Nail, it would take a fucking mountain to move Nail. Because he's so old. He's so ingrained in his ways, and he's so broken. And Kaladin makes a valiant effort, I think that there's stuff in there that I can pinpoint that could be good, could be expanded upon, but everything gets shut down, and Kaladin is like, I'm gonna kill this man. I'm gonna lose my mind.
Well, the problem is that Nail employs podcast bro debaters. You know what I mean? Or debate technique, right?
Yes, 100%.
Nail behaves like Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
In that it doesn't matter what you say.
Yeah.
He will change, instead of debating you, he changes the conversation
Yes.
as
and
you
he changes the parameters.
tackle his points.
Yeah, of the conversation. Yeah.
And so Kaladin isn't used to dealing with debate bros in the way that I am. Right? Because I live on the internet.
Yeah.
And I have been fucking sundered by the avalanche of debate bro content that has been thrust upon me by the algorithm.
Unwillingly.
Over the last, 2 decades of my life.
Yeah.
Not always unwillingly. I do think that in my attempts to understand what we are doing now and the direction we might be headed as a people, I am trying to watch people on the other side's content to see why it is succeeding and like what like I sometimes will watch Nick Fuentes' content in an effort to understand what is it about this white supremacist yelling at the internet is building an audience, to try and understand like how is he taking bad ideas and packaging them in a way that has young men thinking that he is someone they should follow.
Yeah.
And I think that the answer to that is complicated. I think it's mostly just that the Democrats have so lost their ability to communicate to young people. But
sure, but it's not just in North America, right?
No. I'm not saying Democrats. Yeah, I am specifically talking about the Americans when I say that. But
you mean progressive people, progressive leaders.
I think that the problem with someone like, my problem right now is that capitalism has put us in a position where Democrats are catering to the middle in order to keep their funding. And in doing so, everything is continuously getting worse for lower class people. The point is, not the point. The point is, I watch his content to understand why people are flocking to him. Nail uses the same tactics of conversation that disingenuous people use.
Yes.
And it is why these conversations are interesting in that they are, I think, well written. I think that the way that Brandon Sanderson is portraying Nail's madness as being this man who is a very floating target in terms of his debate, I think that is fascinating and I'm enjoying that, while at the same time acknowledging it is fucking annoying.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
I hate him. I want to punch him so much.
Yeah. Judah, Isaac, thank you for that super chat. Nail is quite literally a professional rage baiter. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And he has been perfecting his rage baiting technique for thousands of years.
100%.
And it is infuriating. I empathize with Kaladin so much. I'm like, you got your work cut out for you. We'll get to that. But there is a moment at the end of this chapter where Yasna is like, there's something else going on here. I don't know. Something's off. Something's wrong. In these meetings about this war, and these generals really know what they're doing, but something just feels off. So I need to go think. And she does that.
Yeah. The only thing I want to say about the Kaladin Nail conversation before we move on is Nail insisting that laws are forged by God because they're the laws of Shinovar, and that they're the laws that were forged by the people who came here from another planet. That's his debate. That's his point for why the laws in Shinovar should be respected, because despite the fact that he shifts his allegiance to the law every time he crosses a border, which I think is such a flawed. It's just such a deeply flawed way of viewing the law.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if that were the case, if he was like, well, like the law was created by God, then that is the law that should follow him everywhere he goes.
Well, and it's why I wish the spiritual realm spent more time with Nail, the spiritual realm storyline, because what's fascinating is that in the modern context of the book, Nail is so far gone that he is no longer serving what is good for Oshar. Yeah. Right? But on Ashen, he was the person who was right and was serving the good of Ashen. And that in losing Ashen and coming here and then living through his life here, he has done this huge 180. And I'm like, I wish this book almost explored that more. Instead of having Nail be like in a couple of the visions momentarily when he pops in, gets mad and pops out. I wish we could have explored his... it's the thing I thought the spiritual realm was gonna do that it hasn't, because the spiritual realm has been these snapshots as opposed to following like arcs.
Yeah.
And the snapshots have felt weird because one of the snapshots.
The journey is more interesting than the destination.
But one of the snapshots in this section, they're like, "Oh yeah, Nail's here and they're friendly now," and I was like, I feel like we could have watched that happen.
Yeah.
I feel like that could have been an important moment when they kind of get over their anger and become friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That feels like something that could have been a... I don't know. It's weird to me that that's something that was skipped over.
Yeah.
And then just delivered as exposition.
Yeah.
Dallin are being like, oh, interesting. They like each other now. As opposed to like, why aren't those the visions that we're watching?
Yeah.
Like, why are we... Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird... It's a weird thing to establish that this cool shift in this character happened, but we never get to see it happen, despite the fact that we have a mechanism to watch it happen.
And I think that if the heralds were just people of legend and not active in the current present day,
I agree.
It wouldn't matter as much, right? The snapshots would be perfectly serviceable, but because Nail is influencing today's events, like not Jezreen, is there, like, though I want to know how they became the way that they are, right?
Yeah.
Judah, thank you for that super chat. Have a fun workout.
Yeah, enjoy. Yasna is going to figure it out.
Yeah. It happens later.
Yasna is going to once more be one of the most interesting characters in this series, put into a plot that is the least interesting.
Facts.
What if we take Yasna and put her as far away from where shit is happening as possible? Is the story of the entirety of the Stormlight Archive.
Yeah.
We are going to consistently... God, we created this woman. She fucking rocks.
Yeah.
You will love her. She will not be where the plot is at any point in the entire series. All of book 1, she's in Carbrand. Book 2, dead. Book 3, kind of around. Does some cool stuff in the finale. Book 4, 2 chapters. One is that she's sleeping with a man, and one is that she fights for the first time. And now in this book, she's in the one place where the fight isn't actually happening. It's a cool twist. It is a cool twist with Yasna. But put her in the middle of the fucking plot for one book.
Arzu says the books would be too short otherwise, because Yasna would just solve all the problems.
What if I wrote a whole series with an incredible woman, and then I never let her get close to the plot at all?
I want a What Would Yasna Do t-shirt. But it unless you know that it's Yasna, you think it's a What Would Jesus Do?
I was about to say, like, it would just be the same letters.
Exactly. That's why
people
it's funny.
would think that we're Christians.
No, you'd put, like, Yasna, like, really small. Or you just put, like, her spren behind. So if you know, like...
Okay.
I don't know. I would wear that. She's the best. She's great.
Seth Butler says, Yasna and the Heralds, I think, are suffering from the idea that they are going to be important in the second half. I can't imagine the Heralds survive this book. They're all dead at the end of this.
Seth, do you mean the second half of the book or the second half of the series? Because Yasna better not die.
Oh, no, Yasna won't die.
Yeah, no, I will fucking
Yasna can't die. She's going to be in a city where no one's fighting.
Yeah, true.
I don't think... maybe she somehow gets to Urithiru? Or, I guess the Oathgate still works. So she can bop around, but...
The Oathgate still work, and she is, like, basically a master of Shadesmar.
Yeah, but she can't get around fast. She can get into Shadesmar, but moving in Shadesmar is difficult.
Maybe.
Unless she has a Windrunner with her who can fly.
Maybe, yeah.
Victor Sana says, so this is stuff you don't know, but we know who all the flashback characters are? For all 10 books? Oh my god. Wow. This is what I mean about Brandon Sanderson.
But that's a spoiler.
I mean, but here's my problem with it.
Well,
you don't know what you're going to write in book 7. Why are you making it so that you have to write it a certain way? And this is
because the Kickstarter makes a lot of money and people want...
Well, these aren't Kickstarted, but...
No. I mean, like, in revealing information because you hit goals or putting out extra stories and stuff because you hit goals, like, is, like, a gamification of the series in a way that I think in the long run might hinder it.
I think the gamification, though, is why the flashbacks in Rhythm of War didn't work.
Yeah.
Because they didn't need to be there. You know what I mean? They didn't have any value.
The Venli stuff drove me up the fucking wall. Like, so I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think that I'm committing to a structure is dangerous,
Yeah.
especially for books he's not going to write for a decade.
Yeah.
A decade from now, he's going to be a different author.
Yeah, Blue Sun, you're right. I misspoke. I don't think that it is necessarily a spoiler, because you're right. They could be dead. They could be in another world. That doesn't matter. But I do think it is frustrating to know that structure is in place and there's not really any room for flexibility, because he said it out loud, right? And it may work or it may not work because of how the story evolves, and we're just gonna have to see.
Well, and one of the things that people said about the Rhythm of War flashbacks is that some of that information was supposed to be in Words of Radiance, but wasn't, because things changed while he was writing it.
Well, and Eshonai Venli was supposed to be Eshonai, and he was like, wait a minute,
Interesting. Yeah. He's a big planner, not very much not a discovery writer.
Yeah.
All right. I can't imagine this was the plan.
Book?
Weighted truth is, I just can't imagine that.
No. Here's the thing.
This is gonna sound mean. I can't imagine that you would plan for it to be too big.
Well, no, because you can plan out the events that you want, the things to happen, and not know how many words or pages it's going to take to get there. I think you can be a planner and it not be that specific. So I think that that's a fair assessment, but I do also think that sometimes plans have to change.
Yeah.
In the way that Adolin talks about the best generals are the people who are the ones who can adapt to new information coming in. I think Brandon Sanderson needs to take a bit of that advice sometimes. But he's announced it, and so it will be what it's going to be, Brandon Sanderson, not a war general.
No.
He's good at towers. Yeah. He's not a good general.
Oh, man, that's funny. Wild. Okay, chapter 70, The Contest of Illusions. Zeth is sad, and Nightblood and Zeth have another conversation about good and evil.
Yeah, because Nightblood is like, wait a minute, Zeth, haven't you said that you've murdered innocent people? But you're not evil. You can't be evil because I like you. Yeah. Nightblood is such a fascinating character to me. I hope that these questions matter. What?
I don't think they will. I think that I think we're at the point where Nightblood isn't gonna grow, and so we're gonna have this conversation again with another character in another series at some point.
Maybe.
Yeah. I kind of hope Nightblood isn't relevant to the end of this book. I feel like we already had our Nightblood moment, but it's a weird one.
Nightblood being around and talking to the swords is kind of fun, but like.
Oh no, it's fun. I hope Nightblood isn't the solution to Zeth's problems.
Yeah, for sure.
No.
They go to the Lightweaver Monastery, and there's 30 identical women who look like Ash, and there is like a voice that is like on a speaker system basically, and it's like I'm hiding in the illusions. They're like almost. All of them are imperfect. You have to find the one that is perfect. And Zeth will have one chance to kill the correct one by stabbing it through the eye.
Yeah.
You can't touch them. You can't talk to them. None of that.
Arrogant to assume, though, that the stones on the floor are a perfect representation of Shalash.
No, stones are perfect.
Oh, it's not about the image of her. It's about the stones themselves.
It is about the Shin religion.
I did. Yeah, that. I was like,
the stone
you're really
is
assuming that the guy who did the art deco on the floor knew what she looked like.
No, it's not about what she looks like.
No, it's about the stone. Oh, babe, God, you're so much smarter than me. God, sometimes I feel like a fucking idiot on this show. You know what I mean?
Sometimes I feel like a fucking idiot on this show. That's marriage.
Boom. We make up for our own failings.
And we just don't judge one another for it.
Oh, I judge you all the time.
Rude.
You know I do.
Okay.
I think it's funny.
What are you judging for about me right now?
I mean, right now you're perfect. The color's really nice on you.
Okay. Wow.
When we were watching Mighty 9 episode 2, and you were like, Will. I was like, Will?
Oh.
You mean Gale?
Yeah. I was picturing Gale in my head, too.
I don't know who the fuck Will was.
Someone commented that I lost my nerd cred. And I must
To be
agree.
fair, you've only played half the game and you haven't played it in a year and a half. So.
I know.
Claris gave up on Baldur's Gate 3. She thinks it's a bad game.
No,
she
I
hated
just
it.
haven't gotten back
She didn't enjoy
to
the experience at all.
I don't want to play it and not stream it. But I don't know if anyone's going to fucking give a shit when I get back to it. Like, no one's going to give a shit. They're going to be like, this game is old now.
Yeah.
Why are you...
I've told you to just finish it and start with something new and you come back. But you want to finish the game? Honor Bearer is Moss here, which means that after he dies, Teft is going to rub his little dick between his fingies.
What? Okay, now I'm judging you.
You didn't get that?
No.
Okay.
Why is he gonna jerk off?
Because his name's Moss. You rub the fire moss between your fingers to get high. Teft has a drug addiction problem. And his name's Moss, so he's going to take his little dick and rub it between his fingers.
Jesus Christ.
I thought it made sense.
Wow. You are on timeout. Oh my god. It's terrible.
That's far from the worst joke I've said on this show. I've never been in timeout before.
I don't know, Chad. I don't know. Has there been a worse joke? I don't know.
I just want to remember Teft because this book doesn't.
Fair. That is absolutely fair. Oh my god. Okay, Chad, I will be honest with you.
I don't like it, but I understand.
Nerdy was out at the house for like 2 days because he was filming. And while
I was on a TV show this week.
Hell yeah, proud of you. Well, while I was home alone, I kind of put this book on from the beginning just to like have something that was going. And yeah, this book moves on from Teft so fucking fast.
Yeah.
And I really just, I find it fucking fascinating. Anyways, we've talked about that enough. We've talked that to death, but it's wild.
Yeah, it is just so fascinating to me that Kaladin is a character that is defined by his depression, but Teft died and he was like, you know what, I'm good. Thanks, Teft. Has a bit of worse joke. I want to nominate Para-Els. Oh, I hated Para-Els. Oh, did I hate Para-Els. All right, we're with Venli. Venli is headed towards Narak. She wants to fight. The rest of them don't want to fight. And that's it. That's what we get from Venli in day 6. They're on their way from victory to happiness to be. Yeah. Assumptions, chapter 71. Zet, Sun Villano, Truthless of Shenevar, is trying to figure out which of the 29 or 30 women, oh my god, we're not bringing back in this economy. Get out of here, official ACM. Get out of here. He's trying to figure out which of the 30 people is the fake one, and his friend is not allowed to help him, but Silfrena is like, Nail said that Kaladin can't help you, but I'm a fucking piece of God, okay? So let's figure this out. And so they try and figure it out by color. They end up counting a bunch because all of the images are like slightly different. And so Zeth flies up in the air and then he looks down. He sees that there is the mural on the floor, stabs through the eye, killing Moss and getting his blade. And we cut back to Yasna. Yasna is like, fuck, man. I don't know what's going on, but I did love, my favorite part of this chapter, weirdly, isn't the reveal, but it's the fact that her Spren is like, her Ivory is like, hey, why did you come to a temple to do this? You're an atheist. And she's like, but it's pretty.
Yeah, I know. She's
no, but like, the architecture is nice.
I can appreciate beauty, though. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, I get that. I've sat in churches, you know, just to be like, oh, this is a nice space. Also, this place has heating, and I'm cold.
Well, I've also definitely like experienced I like work better and think better when the space around me is like clean and aesthetic. You know, like when our
That's why you can't get anything done right now because our house is a mess.
I know our house is a mess because we haven't.
That wasn't me being mean. She knows what I mean.
No. Our house is genuinely a mess because of all the construction. That we are still in the middle of. We
will have a bathroom one day.
Yeah, in 2026, like at this point.
Maybe 2027.
Oh my god, I'm gonna lose my mind. But Yeah, I do understand the idea of like going somewhere aesthetically pleasing to concentrate.
And then she realizes just because the boats are coming doesn't mean there's people on them. It's a feint. And I did like this because last week I was kind of like the population density of the soldiers on the Singer side of this conflict don't really make any sense.
This was fantastic.
And for it to be like, oh, it's because there aren't any this time. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
At least the book kind of gets into the lack of reality in this.
Yeah. I think acknowledging that was great. I think that was
not lack of reality. What I thought was a lack of reality, it addresses that, is what I meant to say.
Yeah, it's like, no, you are right. There are too many people to be in this many places at once because they're not real.
Well, and it's so fascinating. It's one of the things that I think is really...
Oh, can I jump in one quick for that moment? Again, I went and re-listened to the beginning of this book.
Yeah.
And there is a comment that Fen makes.
Okay.
She says, like a whole fleet of ships in an army can't just appear out of thin air.
Yeah.
Like she literally like says it. And I was like, fuck, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. God damn it. That's good. Anyways.
But the problem is with the magic of this world, it can.
Yeah.
So it is the tough thing of like, I don't know that that's true. But Fen does, and she's right with this one. Because the fleet of ships is real. It's just the people on it. So she sends some windrunners to go figure out what's going on there. We'll see Jasna in day 7.
Uh-huh.
Statistically Dangerous, chapter 72. Syl is pissed because Moss didn't just set up light weavings, but actually put people underneath those light weavings, and so she's mad.
Yeah, that's rude.
Zeth was gonna, if Zeth had chosen any of the light weavings, he would have killed a real person who did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Because the Unmade is bad.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't know if you know this about the Unmade. Not good.
Not great. Yeah.
Not good people.
A problem, for sure.
Problem to be solved. Jean maybe isn't. I don't know. Complicated.
TBD.
You know. So then they go out into the outside and people are like, hey, you did it. Let's go. And Syl is like, wait a second. There's 30 illusions, and he said that 29 of them are imperfect, and one of them is dangerous.
Oh, look, the wind. Stupid brain. Okay, wait, no. One of them is dangerous. Kaladin,
that one.
I related to this so fucking hard. And I know that Syl has always been kind of like ADHD coded through a lot of this, but this moment in particular was like, there is something that is like so important in front of my face, and I know that I need to be thinking about it. But what are the Black Friday sales at Sephora? You know what I mean? Like, there's just like you have to like kind of almost like wrench your brain back onto the thing that you know is important, right? You know it and you believe it. It's not like you're like psyching yourself out, but your brain just likes to vacation very frequently.
And then Kaladin flies forward and stabs Vombra the Truth Watcher with Syl as a spear. And the Lightweaver died, or the Lightweaver was dead. The Truth Watcher is now dead. And we are cleaning up the number of people Zeth has to go fight. Because it would get complicated.
And it would get boring to just have a fight after fight after fight.
Nail is like, Zeth, you cheated.
Yeah.
And Zeth is like,
how?
What rule did I break? And Nail is like, fuck, that's a good point. There aren't any rules. Damn it.
Zeth is like, when they pulled me into fucking Shadesmar, they said there's no rules to this. So what are the actual rules then? And Nail is like, damn it, he got me.
But Nail...
You know what? You're right. There's no rules. And Syl is like, what the fuck, dude? That's it? There's no rules? You're just going to say sorry and move on? And Nail's like, what the fuck do you want me to do? And she's like, I don't know. Be sorry? Like, you hold yourself to the law. What is the punishment in the law for falsifying a contract? I don't know. Throw yourself in jail. Do something useful. Like,
no, he's so annoying. I hate him so much.
I know.
Even saying that someone is cheating when there is no rules is insane.
I know.
I do wish this book was a little bit more buttoned up on the rules. Like, this almost felt like meta commentary on the fact that I don't understand what the rules for anything in this book are.
No, the book acknowledges that there are no rules.
Yeah. And one of the problems with there being no rules is the plot doesn't have it keeps the plot from having a sense of forward momentum in some ways.
Yeah.
Because we're just kind of doing stuff.
Yeah.
And that stuff can happen at any time, in any place, in any order. It doesn't really feel like it matters. And it's weird because Zeth talks about the pilgrimage as being this thing that he had to do. But it doesn't feel like we're following his pilgrimage, weirdly. Like, it feels like he's doing something else now. And he's calling it pilgrimage, but it isn't like...
I don't know what you mean.
In order for this book to not be 10 or 9 fights in 9 monasteries, we're just kind of doing random fights in random places, 2-on-1, to like move it forward a little bit faster.
Yeah.
And in doing that, it doesn't feel like we're building with Zeth. I like the Zeth Kaladin plot more than the rest. I will say that. But it doesn't feel like it is escalating. It feels like it is just the same thing repeated. And I think that if there was some element of the pilgrimage where there were rules around how it progressed in a way that it got harder as it went on, I think that there could have been some way to make it feel like it was ratcheting up. But because Zeth is so good, and Kaladin is so good at this stuff, like, the only thing that holds Zeth back in the fight with the one fight that he almost died because he was locked in stone was that he wasn't allowed to use his powers, right? That was the most tense I felt about any of the Zeth fights. Everything after that has been Zeth kind of crushing it.
Yeah, but we know that the last part of the pilgrimage is having to fight without any of your powers.
I know, but what if the rules of this were that they instead of having him start with 1 down and getting it in that fight, he started with all of his powers and he was losing them as he went, so that these moments got progressively harder. So that when he gets to the final fight,
right? Like, and that's actually kind of why I like it. I like that they're not all fights. I like that it's not linear.
Sure, You're
thinking like a video game.
No. I'm thinking like a book. Like, I want arc to this, and it doesn't feel like there's a lot of arc to this. These moments have felt.
To me, it honestly feels more like the arc is in Zeth's growth, right? Because he challenges Nail in this moment in a way that I don't really believe that he would have before, right? He says, Nail, there are no rules to this. What are the rules to this? I've been told that there are no rules to this, so now why are there suddenly rules, right? What rules have I broken? Yeah. What are they? And it's not done in a way that's like, confrontational, but Zeth is questioning him, and that is a step forward, and a step that I do think that Kaladin has helped to facilitate. So I think that the arc is just more in Zeth's personal growth than it is in like the fights. The fights to me are like fun set dressing. I'm more interested in Zeth's journey here emotionally, and do I think he can be healed in 10 days? No, I think that would be kind of ridiculous. Mm-hmm. But I do like seeing some progress that I actually do feel like it is possible, right? I do feel like this is realistic. This is a realistic step in a way that I was a little bit worried. I was like, oh, Kaladin's going to therapize him for 5 days and then... and he's just going to be better? Like, yeah.
No, I agree with what you're saying. I'm separating the concept of the pilgrimage from Zet's personal growth.
For sure.
I think that those things are very different. I think the pilgrimage is so important culturally to the Shin people that I feel like it should feel like it has more of a structure to it.
Well, but
as opposed to... I'm not talking about, like, for me as the reader of the book. I'm saying that every religious, like, thing that I've ever experienced in my life has always come with so many weird rules because it's deeply cultural.
Yeah, but there are no rules.
The pilgrimage doesn't feel deeply cultural to me.
Oh, it's not.
It just feels like a random thing.
Yeah,
and I think 100%. that if it felt like it was, if it felt like there were a bunch of rules and there was a lot of like,
it is like the bastardized version of what Zeth did to of what the actual pilgrimage is, right? These people and their culture and their religion has been so polluted by the unmade that you're right. This has no rules. This is like the worst version.
Pick Your Motto says disagree. The Shin don't like fighting is a pacifist culture. That is separate from this. The pilgrimage is a how they choose their honor bearers. Like that is such a deeply cultural thing.
Yeah.
And so I wish that Zeth, even if they were breaking it, right? I wish Zeth knew what the rules were supposed to be to a pilgrimage.
Yeah, he does.
But he hasn't brought them up ever.
Oh, he says this is not in the rules, right? Of when he gets taken into Shadesmar and when there's 2-on-1. Like, there are certain rules that he has mentioned as like, well, this is not how we usually do things. And they're like, fuck you, Zeth.
Yeah, I guess that's true. No, that's true. And maybe it is the Shadesmar moment that changes it. I think that I wish the flashbacks had started the pilgrimage earlier. Because we're so deep in the pilgrimage in the present day, but the flashbacks were just getting to the beginning of his pilgrimage, right, next day.
Oh.
And I think that if we could have paralleled them a little bit more, I think that would have worked a little bit better. Because I think that the book is about to teach us the rules to the pilgrimage that the present day has already broken. As opposed to, like, using the flashbacks to set up what it's going to be. And this is, again, like, I think Brandon Sanderson's, like, desire for everything to have this weird, it has to be chronological vibe gets in the way of sometimes delivering information in a way where I
honestly, I don't mind this one. I know what you mean, but I think that this has worked for me, and I think that in a fun way, because Brandon Sanderson does chronological a lot, I think that seeing what the pilgrimage is supposed to be after seeing this, like, whatever the fuck version he's going through now, is actually, it is very intriguing to me. I'm excited to read that. I'm actually quite looking forward to seeing where the changes are and the degradation of the culture, the religion, like what's been like taken from these people by the unmade and by their leaders, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, the biggest question I have, because I think that this is the last POV of this plotline, before we get into the other stuff, the biggest question I have coming out of this, right, is the unmade, Ishar, Nail. Why are these three beings working together on this? Why is Ishar working with an unmade? Why is Nail following, like, because none of this is following the laws of Shinovar, right? Right now, the unmade is setting this contest. Why is Nail viewing the laws of an unmade as legitimate laws? Like, what is bringing these three beings together who, in my opinion right now, have wildly different desires and codes, and what is making those three entities comfortable working together in this is something that I know the book's answer. I don't expect an answer right now. But that is the biggest question mark hanging over this plot line, is where did these three beings find common ground? Because I don't believe that Ishar and Nail are just unaware of the unmade. I don't think that's possible. If Ishar and Nail are just being manipulated by an unmade and they didn't know what's going on, I would find that to be sort of...
Sure.
I would find it to be kind of a letdown here.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean they don't know? So, I don't know. I'm very curious what the three of them are. What is the connective tissue between those three people right now?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a good question.
Yeah. We cut over to Shallan, and we get Gliss is like, oh yeah, no, anti-light isn't actually that dangerous to humans. It's really more dangerous to their spread. And it's like, okay, cool. I'm glad halfway through this book we're minimizing the fear of the one weapon that made this plotline interesting.
I mean, we kind of knew that.
No, we've already seen it. The book just is like, I just want to remind you, if humans get stabbed with anti-light, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
Relaine and Renarin are flirting. God, man, I want gay representation and stuff. The stakes of this book feel insane with these two.
Oh, yeah.
I get it. I get that it's, like, cute, and you got... I am so pro gay characters, man. But like, there's like life and death shit going on. This situation is so dire, and they're flirting so casually that I'm like, guys,
gotta pass the time somehow.
I guess. I just the Renard and Relaine plotline feels so here for gay representation. You know what I mean? Like, it just feels so outside of the plot.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Tomato Soup says, when shit's dire, you gotta shoot your shot.
Hey, and that's a good point.
Hey, yeah, they're like, we might die at any moment, so it's now or never.
I don't know. It's so, if you told me that, like, we were gonna get, like, a cute gay couple in a Brandon Sanderson book, I'd have been like, I cannot wait to read that. And now I'm like, this doesn't feel like the time.
Well, and then this chapter is basically just, like, Pattern explains math to Shalon. Which is important, but not really to the plot.
Statistically, no, here's the problem. Pattern doesn't understand what he's saying, because his math is bad,
what do you mean?
Okay, if you were to take Shalon's life, and you're like, hey, you have killed 4 people that were very important to you, but there's 20 people that are very important to you alive. Sorry, let's say 5. 5 and 20. You have killed 1/5 of the very important people in your life. That's not a crazy amount.
Wait, wouldn't that be out of 25?
Yeah, 5 out of 25 is 1/5.
Oh, you said 25. Sorry, I thought you said 20.
No, there's 20 alive and 20 dead. You've only killed 1/5 of the people who are very important to you. Statistically, 1/5, not a big number. But if you consider that 99.9% of the human population kills 0% of the people very important to them, 1/5 is a very large number.
That is assuming in this world that a lot of people don't kill, and a lot of people do. There's a lot of wars going on.
Oh, not kill anybody. Shalon is saying, I kill people who are important to me. I kill my mentors. She's like, I killed my mom. I killed not Tindwell. Tin. Statistically, Shalon kills a very large percentage of the people who are important to her. But if you ignore
that's not a large percentage. It's only a large percentage in comparison to the general population.
Yeah, that's how statistics work. That is how statistics work.
But he's not comparing her to a normal person. That's never part of their conversation.
I understand that, but that's just not how... You can't just say that you don't kill a lot of people you care about and compare it to nothing.
Yeah, because it's not a comparison.
I know, that's bad math.
No, all he's doing is on one side of the table you have 20 apples, and on one side of the table you have 5 apples. It has nothing to do with any relation to anything else. It is simple, there's more apples on this side.
I understand that.
That's what Pattern's saying.
I understand what Pattern's saying. That's bad math.
No, it's not.
When you're talking about the way it affects Shalon emotionally, the facts of that math are not relevant. Okay.
Well, math is irrelevant emotionally anyways. Math has nothing to do with emotions.
But it's like saying, like, COVID-19 killed, I think, like 3% of the people who got it, right?
Okay.
Maybe it wasn't even that high. But let's just say, for this argument, it's 3%. Say you're like, it didn't kill that many people who got COVID, is an insane thing to say, because 3% is a big number in comparison to diseases that kill 0.01%.
Yes, but you have to compare that to the population of the Earth. There's no comparisons in this math that Pattern is doing.
But there just is an inherent comparison. There's just an inherent comparison in saying you don't kill an inordinate amount of people you care about. But it is inordinate, because the only thing you can compare that to is how many people do regular people... How many important people do regular people
kill? He's comparing how many people are dead to how many people are alive.
I understand. That is not how math works. That is not how statistics works.
That is how math works.
But then nobody kills that many people. That isn't real. That's not a real sentence. That is nonsense to try and make someone feel better, but it isn't real.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Shalon is right. She kills an inordinate amount of people.
No, but that's what I mean. Pattern isn't good at emotions.
Oh,
Like
100%.
that's not what Pattern's doing. Pattern is literally taking this issue and detaching it from anything connected to it. Which, whether or not that is correct, that is a whole other discussion. But his math isn't bad. Like, his math is there's more apples on one side of the table than the other. And it doesn't go past that.
I know. I understand that. It's bad math. It is using math. You are manipulating math to try and make a statement that isn't true. That's what it is. You are using correct math to manipulate a statement that isn't true. And it's shit that our politicians do all the time.
But that is what statistics are.
But here's what I will say. Politicians do this all the time, and it pisses me off when they do it. And so I'm not giving Pattern a pass because he's cute. Okay, I'm not giving him a pass for doing a thing that I acknowledge pisses me off every day.
But if that is the criteria, then all statistics are manipulation. Because you could say, yeah, 3% is not that high, and I say 3% is that high. And either way that you look at it could be true depending on what you say and what you talk about.
Oh, 100%. I agree with that.
So that can't be math.
In this case, we're talking specifically about... But in this case, Shallan is such an outlier compared to the average person.
Well, what about compared to Dalinar?
Dalinar is such an outlier compared to the average person. I don't feel like I should have to explain that Dalinar Kholin has killed an inordinate amount of people he cares about. Then.
What about compared to other Knights Radiant?
Okay, name a Knight Radiant that killed someone they loved. Name one. Other than Dalinar and Shallan.
Well, Kaladin tried to kill Moash.
After he was the villain. After he murdered Elhokar.
Yeah, Moash also killed Elhokar.
I know. Moash didn't love Elhokar. Elhokar was his enemy. We're not talking about people killing people. We're talking about people killing their mom or their wife. It's Dalinar and Shallan. And that's it. That's the whole fucking list.
Uh-huh.
It is inordinate how many people who Shallan considered to be mentors she has murdered. It is inordinate. There is no statistical way to be like, nah, you've killed the normal amount of people you love. That's an insane statement. Pattern is like, no. Mathematically, it's fine that you killed your mom, which is weird. Okay. It is weird to say that.
But you have to acknowledge that these people she only killed because they tried to kill her. And so if that's our statistic, if we're saying you have killed a normal amount of people compared to other people who have killed people that are trying to kill them, then it's perfectly normal.
You know what? I agree with that.
Yeah, there you go.
If that was the argument,
you can take statistics and twist it however the fuck you want. Therefore, not real math.
If that was the argument Pattern was making, I would like it more.
Well, he does mention it.
Yeah. Anyway, what a dumb conversation. They're gonna do another vision.
Great for a clip.
Chapter 73, The Luxury of Simplicity. Szeth is the best, again. And so he beats up some guy who was supposed to be Swordmaster. Some guy. And then he gets sent out to do a hunt by Posen. Sivy is like, you're not doing this hunt. I already found all the pieces of paper. You're fine. Let's go have a drink. Which she... then is like, hey, be careful. Posen's trying to use you. Szeth is like, yeah, probably. That's fine. I don't really want to be an honor bearer. And she's like, yeah, but you're gonna. And he's like, all right, fine. I guess I will. And then she steals the cup and the chapter ends. Yeah,
this whole chapter is basically like, hey, Szeth, this person is using you. And he's like, yeah, I know. She's like, okay, well...
That's okay, though, because he's smart and old.
Yeah. Do you want him to pick you because you're fucking weak-willed? Mm-hmm. Is that what you want your life to be? Okay, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, my favorite part of this chapter, honestly, was Sivy's saying, like, life wasn't simpler. You just weren't aware.
Yeah.
Do you really want to live unaware?
Yeah.
And sometimes I do.
Yeah.
I know too much.
Honestly, yeah.
This chapter really hit me. I was like,
Sivy does not have the internet.
Fuck. I actually kind of would like to know less.
No, Sivy is not on the internet. She does not understand what it is like to be constantly online.
Yeah, this chapter, honestly, like, it's not much really happens, but the information I think is really important of, like, the political infighting of the honor bearers already being present, and the fact that the honor bearers that are getting raised because they're being elevated by Posen being the kind of people that the Unmade can take advantage of because they are more obedient is really interesting, right? Like, I liked exploring that and how Civi, the person who is calling out Posen for installing sycophants, is the one that died standing up to the Unmade.
Yeah.
Like, there's a real... Again, like, the Zeth Callan part of this book is the best part of this book, right?
Including
and it's because
the
of stuff like this. Like, the understanding of Civi having the wherewithal to stand up to Posen and thus the Unmade is really, really fascinating to me. And I liked that quite a bit here.
Yeah.
And the voice obviously comes back and is like, hey, or no, she promises Zeth that if he does the pilgrimage, he'll get to know who the voice is.
Right.
Which, does that mean that the honor bearers know that he's Unmade? The Unmade?
Yep. That's why
Or do they
Zeth
believe
is
a
made,
lie about the voice?
No, that's why Zeth is made truthless. Right.
No, that's not why Zeth is made truthless. Zeth is made truthless because he tells the people of Shin that the Voidbringers are back. Not because he exposes the Unmade.
Honor bearers, because they don't want people to know that the Unmade is fucking talking to him. Because Zeth is too honest, too forward, and not nuanced enough to politically deal with the situation, right?
Yeah.
Zeth is going to be like, when Zeth finds out what the voice is...
Oh, you think that's what it is?
Yeah, when Zeth finds out what the voice is, I think he's going to be like, what the fuck, guys? I've listened to you my entire life. This cannot be. And they're going to be like, truthless.
I'm just, yeah, if Civi knows that, right now I have a lot of respect for Civi. If she knows she's working for an Unmade, that will warp my opinion of her. You know what I mean? But yeah, great chapter. I really, the discussion of Posen here and how it leads to the honor bearers falling to the Unmade, I really like.
Here's the thing. Civi is not an honor bearer yet. She's just an acolyte, so she doesn't know either.
What are you talking about? No, she is.
No, she's not.
Yeah, she is. She's an honor bearer the first time we meet her in the flashbacks.
No.
Yeah, because Zeth goes, oh my god, 2 honor bearers?
No, she is in the present. No. She is a acolyte for the Will Shaper honor bearer.
No, you are wrong. She is an honor bearer at this point. I'm just letting you know that she is already an honor bearer at this point. She just is.
So she is the honor bearer?
Yeah. Yep, she's one of them. Why is that throwing you off so much?
Because your notes say otherwise.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and so I was like, wait a minute. Because when I was reading it... I
copy and paste a lot of notes.
Well, but when I was reading it, I also thought that she wasn't the honor bearer. I thought she was in the same kind of position as Zeth.
I don't know. I grab a bunch of, like... I don't type out my own notes. I just go and, like, copy and paste a bunch of stuff from some places that I know don't have spoilers in them. And so... I don't know where the note came from, so it might just be wrong.
Yeah. No, it might be. That was what it was in my experience,
head. Trying to find chapter summaries to keep us on track here. Not everywhere has chapter summaries for everything, which is interesting.
Yeah.
So you have to, like, look around and find them, but...
Yeah.
I think my notes have to be wrong, because I'm pretty sure she is an...
You probably saw that Civi was once an acolyte of Posen.
No, the thing that I copy and pasted says she currently is, so...
No, but maybe that's why I also thought that it was, because that's how she knows where all the notes are. Because she's like...
Oh, she definitely was an acolyte of his, yeah.
Yeah, he uses all, like, the same tactics and stuff.
Yeah. I should be better about, like, remembering, or, like, leaving myself notes for where I'm pulling my notes from.
I mean...
It doesn't matter.
There's so much.
The point is, she... I like Civi a lot, and I want her to be good, and I'm worried that... I'm worried that he won't be. She won't be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up?
Oh, I want to ask you, what do you think of... what do you think is up with Tuco?
Who?
Tuco? The Windrunner.
The one who's just really
Like, why do you
good?
think they want to take out Tuco?
What do you mean?
Well, it's Civi is like, yeah, we need you to take the pilgrimage because we need to take out Tuco. Why do you think they don't like Tuco? What do you think it is about Tuco that is the reason why they want to stop him?
I don't know. I honestly did not think anything of it.
Oh, really? I thought it was interesting that the politics of having someone that you're already trying to replace is really fascinating to me. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's interesting to have this this division, and what would make them want to replace someone, especially someone who's young like Tuco. Like, they clearly regret elevating him to honor bearer, right?
Maybe because if at this point Civi knows what the voice is, maybe Tuco is not happy with that revelation.
Oh, interesting. That's dangerous though, because then you end up in this position where you would end up cycling through people while they're young, and I don't know. Chapter 74, What He Made of Us. We start off with Sigzil fucking going through it.
Yeah.
Sigzil watches his acolyte, or no, squire. Acolytes are the other guys, die.
The other guys.
And then starts just mowing through singers. Just fucking... Meanwhile, his friend is like, hey, bud, maybe we don't fucking lose our minds. And he mows through a couple of singers.
He's like, you are in charge. You have to be the person in charge.
He mows through a couple of singers and finds some edge dancers who are like right there and could have saved his squire. And it just pisses him off more. And so he keeps fucking murdering until finally his friend is like, hey. Let's be logical. Let's be logical.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right. And so he leads the retreat.
Yes, which is, again, what he had intended for this, but he was hoping they could hold out at least one extra day.
Yeah, and so we've lost Narok 4, and now it's time to figure out how we can direct the enemy's attention to Narok 3. This chapter is so beautiful in such a sad way, because it does get to the point where it's him, Scar, and Leighton standing around going, hey... This is why Kaladin isn't around anymore, right? This is why Kaladin's done.
Yeah.
He did this too many times, and he's done. And I really loved the idea of the weight has been passed, and we're acknowledging the weight of leadership.
Yeah.
It's not that Kaladin experienced it differently than other people. It's just that he was protecting them from having to until now.
Yeah.
Because this is their first big battle without Kaladin, right? Like, the campaign in Emul in the last book there was a lot of fighting, but it never really turned against them. It never was dire. They sort of strategically won because they were supposed to. They were supposed to just be kept there by the fight. The idea of that was to be a distraction. Yeah. Whereas now they're in an actual conflict, like the end of Oathbringer for the first time without Kaladin. And... and the first time with Sigzil being their leader in this way. Yeah. And the acknowledgement of that weight upon him, I thought was great. I loved this. The first half of this chapter, I liked a lot. Yeah. I thought it was really, really brilliant. And yeah, I liked it greatly.
Yeah. Yeah, especially just acknowledging, like, back in book 1, like, Kaladin accepting the responsibility of all these, like, dead, like, bridgemen. Yeah. In a way that maybe isn't fair, right? And in the same way that, like, it's not fair to Sigzil here. Like, people die in war, in fighting, and it's really hard to come to terms with that. And that, like, that sympathy for Kaladin and why he had to leave, like, why he had to step away, was just... It was very poignant, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Then we cut over to Shallan. They are looking through a window into Shedzma, or into Vision, because now we can build scaffolding to watch. Sure, why not? And we see a red-haired woman walking with Jezrien, and Radiant goes, the implications of this are daunting. Clarus, who is the woman?
Her ancestor?
How many generations back?
Well, that I wouldn't know. I can't do math.
I think I figured it out.
Oh.
I think I know who this is.
Okay. Who is it?
It's her mom.
How would it be her mom, though?
How? What do you? What would prevent that?
Her mom's just immortal?
Yeah, her mom's a herald. I think the implication is that Shallan's mom is a herald.
No.
Her mom is Chana.
Her mom, she stabbed her mom.
Yeah.
Her mom is dead.
No, her mom was a herald. Oh, I think I'm 100%. I think I'm right? No, it's her mom. The implications of this are daunting. We have to acknowledge them anyway. Who else would Shallan immediately recognize on sight that the implications would be daunting? That's Shallan's mom. Her mom was a herald.
Yeah, there is a red-haired herald who is Ash.
There's two red hairs.
So...
Shauna and Shalash, right?
So why would her mom try and kill Shallan for being a Radiant?
Think that one through for a second. Why would a woman who doesn't want the Desolations to come back not want Radiance to exist?
But
because it means that it's starting over again.
Okay. But she has lived through how many of these?
Uh-huh.
Just because, like killing Shallan does not change anything. Like, whatsoever.
We followed Nail for 3 books trying to do this.
Yeah, and it did nothing.
I'm not... Yeah, but Nail thought it was going to work. Why would Chana not think it was going to work?
Because she's not going around hunting all of the Radiants.
Sure, but she sees one, freaks out, and tries to kill her. I think that makes sense. I think her response... I think an insane lunatic woman who has been alive for too long and was tortured to insanity, trying to kill a sign that there was no point in her the moment she gave up her honor, I think that makes a ton of sense. The heralds aren't okay. They're not like normal people. They're broken. I don't know. I think I've got this one, chat. I think I'm right.
If that were the case, I think that she would have tried to kill Testament and not Shallan. Like, yeah.
I don't know how she would have killed Testament.
She's a herald. She's seen all of the fucking devices over time. I mean, fucking Ishii is killing Spren, no problem.
I think that you're way more surprised that a herald might try and kill a Radiant than I am, because that's what they seem to have been doing.
But it's her daughter. Like, instead of... Like, here's the thing. If she believed...
She's crazy. She's not a normal person. Crazy people kill their kids.
No, you guys, Ishii has been killing Spren for God knows how long.
Ishii's been killing Spren?
Yeah, fucking ripping them apart.
Well, we don't know how long he's been doing that for.
Exactly.
The first example we have of that is Rhythm of War. That might only be a year old. Well, less. That he could have done it for the first time 6 weeks ago.
I just am like, oh, they have the same color hair. Like,
It's not the color of hair. It's that they have the same color of hair, and that Shallan went, wait, holy shit, I know that woman. Who else would it be? What other red-headed woman in Shallan's past would it be? We have followed most of Shallan's life in these books. Like, for it to be some other randomly, wildly important person to Shallan specifically is weird if it's not her mom. we know the woman's immortal, right? So I don't know. Yeah, Shallan's parents were super abusive, and a crazy Harold being abusive seems about right. I don't know. I don't think this is that out of left field. Why would Wit show up to her as a kid?
Look, I think...
You know what I mean? Like, it just makes sense.
I think you'd have to be... Well, yeah, the Wit thing does make sense, but I think you'd have to be so incredibly fucking stupid to be like, I don't want the Knights Radiant to come back, but I'm gonna have a child. Multiple children.
I don't understand why that would... She doesn't think that her... What? She doesn't think that her bloodline would be radiant.
But she is magical. She's from before Radiance had power. She's from when people just had powers.
But we don't know that their children in the past have been more likely to have powers. Like, the Heralds might have a bunch of kids.
But the guy
that aren't Radiants.
But the dad and the daughter fucking I'm mixing up people's names out. It's Jezrien and his daughter is Ash, right? Yeah. That's a father-daughter duo.
But they had powers before they came here.
That's what I mean. So why would Chana have a kid when she has inherent magic powers, not radiant magic powers, but inherent magic powers, and be like, my kids are totally gonna be fine?
Ship's Lady says, can a crazy magic redhead just hit it raw for Storm's sake?
Bruh, if you're magical, just fucking drink the tea.
Milk of the poppy. No, that's not it. Moon tea, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I'm just
different
saying,
series.
Here's the thing. I'm so convinced I'm right, and it's funnier because it's pissing you off. I like that you don't like this much, because I think it's going to happen, and I don't know how you're going to respond to it.
No, but I think it is going to happen too, and I just don't like it. Like, her being crazy is just not good enough for me. I'm sorry.
What do you mean?
Like,
I will say this. I think that it makes... I think that, weirdly, the world of Stormlight Archive is very small. Stormlight Archive has the Star Wars problem of everyone having to somehow be connected to the Skywalkers. I don't love that about Star Wars. I was so pissed when Rey wasn't nobody. You know what I mean? And if Shallan does end up being the child of a Radiant... Or of a Herald, sorry. I do think it has the problem of, like, the world gets smaller when you do these things.
Yeah.
And I like when people are nobody. You know what I mean? But just really, really interesting reveal here of this nonsense. We cut over to Szeth for the final flashback chapter 75, Family. And Szeth is leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when he'll be back again.
Yeah.
And he has a conversation with his sister and his dad, which Clark's is going to talk to you about while I go pee.
Oh, great.
Why? God, okay. Here we go. Can you just give me a hand here and I'm going to... Oh!
Yeah. So Elid finds Szeth and is like, oh, yeah, no, I pretended to be, like, interested in the religion just so, like, they would let me in here. So I could talk to you, and you need to tell Dad not to go with you. And he's like, why would I do that? Why? It's not my decision to make. And sorry, my brain is not working. I think that what's interesting about this chapter is the kind of family dynamics, I guess, that Szeth has that are very, like, normal, but not, because there's, like, magic shit involved. But this idea that, like, Szeth's parents had problems before Szeth, killed that man, and they left to the other to the village, to the fighting village, I guess. And Elid has this jealousy towards Szeth, where she's like, I don't understand why Father likes you better than me, right? I've never felt that same sense of love and loyalty from our Father as you have. He will follow you fucking anywhere. He'll do whatever you want to stay with you. And I don't have that. And then when we cut to, like, Zeth having a conversation with his dad, with Naturo, he's like, your sister hates me, right? Like, there is just a lack of communication between this whole family, because Elid is like, Dad doesn't love me, and Naturo is like, Elid hates me, and, like, your mother and I had problems.
I just stabbed my pinky toe on your chair.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, boy. Oh.
Not the pinky toe. Yeah, right?
No. Okay. Where are we at? What are you talking about?
Just talking about their,
The parents?
or I was like, the levels of family dysfunction are many and varied.
Yeah. No, they're rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really appreciated Naturo, though, being like, hey, like, your mom and I had problems for a while.
Yeah.
Like, the idea that any of this is your fault is crazy. We were falling apart for a while.
Yeah.
I moved her out to the country. This is a thing, man. You can't move city folk out to the country. It doesn't work.
But they weren't city folk.
I mean, they were kind of, right? They were, like, bigger city folk than they ended up being.
No, they were fucking... We found out that the reason that they kind of lived alone at the edge of, like, their
But
land...
she wasn't. No, that's the point I'm saying.
Oh, you mean when they got married?
Yeah. Okay. She wasn't. And then,
Yeah, and his dad's got kind of, heretic views.
Yeah.
That people didn't like, which is why they lived on the outskirts.
Yeah, it's an interesting flashback, but his dad's coming with him, even though he's the mayor. The mayor's like, my son's leaving. I'm leaving too. Good luck. I know I fixed everything. I will also say, Naturo going everywhere and just fixing all of the civic problems everywhere he goes is, like, very comedic to me.
Oh, yeah.
He is the Zoran Momdani of the Stormlight Archive.
Wow. Yeah, everywhere he shows up, he just is like, I'm going to make this place better.
Yeah.
Because he's a man who adds.
Before we get into the next chapter, I just want to, because Biodo Mishram shows up, can we just talk about how hot Biodo Mishram is in this image of her?
Hell yeah.
Like, holy shit, Biodo Mishram. It's a fucking attractive woman. I want this art.
That's pretty sick.
I know. Alright, chapter 76. We skipped over, I can't remember what chapter it was in. We skipped over it, but there is a chapter, one of the Shallan, Relaine, Renarin chapters, they have a really dumb conversation about this war, that where Relaine has to, like, be like, hey, like, not all singers. Didn't like it. Didn't want to talk about it. We're moving on.
It was a very contrived conversation.
It was a very contrived conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Shallan is like, hey, I want to boop into the vision. So she gets at the end of the last chapter, but she gets booped into the vision. And she wakes up in a dying singer. And she's like, oh my God, this is terrible.
Yeah.
I'm going to die. And they're like, we'll pull you out. And she's like, no, wait a second. That's Biodo Mishram. Don't pull me out yet. Biodo Mishram going around.
Biodo Mishram
Healing the
looks
singers.
to me like, in this section, like the Midnight Essence.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if that's relevant.
I think that the Unmade all have that element, that kind of, like, visual.
Well, no, they all look different. They all manifest differently. They all are kind of unique in their own way, which is why they're fun. But I do think that this particular description was, like, very, like, much the Midnight Essence, and I wonder if that's comes from Biodo Mishram?
Probably does, because a lot of the physical stuff comes from her on the side, right?
Yeah.
Or no, but also the Midnight Mommy. I don't know.
Yeah, but the Midnight Mommy does.
God, I miss the
feel
Midnight
different.
Mommy. Remember her? What a great character.
Oh yeah, she just kind of fucked off. She just ran away.
Yeah, she's still alive. She's somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. Where is Midnight Mommy? I'm surprised she hasn't come back. But so Mishram is healing people, singers. And Shallan, she heals Shallan. And then Shallan kind of like follows her around, watching her, and she's like, "Are you going to heal that human?"
Yeah.
And Mishram's like, "No, I can't.
I can't.
I wouldn't, but I can't." And then Mishram sings a beautiful song for that human. So I'm very excited to see what changed Mishram. What did the humans do to like shift the situation?
It makes me wonder if Mishram is like is part of the singers and not the humans. Like if Mishram was here before the humans arrived.
No, because Mishram was made by Odium, and Odium came with the humans.
I know that's what the book says.
I know, but this gets into... I know. I hear you. This gets into one of the problems I'm having with this book is that...
Who do you trust?
Well, and I think that it is... I understand unreliable narrators. I'm not an idiot. And I know Chat thinks I'm an idiot. I understand unreliable narrators. But when everything is unreliable...
Yeah.
It gets really like hard to parse through some of the reveals... Because there's so much false information in these books. And I understand that feels very real. I do get it. But it does pile up sometimes. And trying to keep track of what is real in these books is a little dense.
Yeah.
It does make reading these books more effort than I would like for them to be.
Yeah.
It's not that it's bad. It just is. It's yeah. Mental. It creates mental load in a way that can sometimes make the reading experience of these books less enjoyable.
Yeah. I wonder if like this is just out like a shot in the dark here. But Odium, we've been told that Odium made the Unmade, right?
Well, they're of Odium in the same way like the Stormfather is of Honor.
Yeah. So whether he created them intentionally or not, questionable. But if he did do it intentionally, so in Mistborn, we know that the planet was created because two shards came together to do so, right?
Yeah.
And so what if, in this case, the Unmade, or at least Mishram, was created by Odium coming together with one of the original gods, like Night? Right? Because we know that, like, there was an old god. There's, like, stone, there's wind, there's night. There are these, like, old gods that are pieces of Adonalsium that are kind of, like, just left behind, right? So they are technically, like, kind of part of a shard, which is why I wonder if they are, like, connected to, like, this planet in particular, right? Which is why Mishram can heal the singers and not the humans, maybe? Because the singers are from this planet.
Oh, see, I just figured it was because at this point in the war, the singers are on Odium's side and not Honor's, and so...
And maybe it's just that.
Trying to heal them with Void Light...
I don't know.
Maybe
it's just that. Maybe it's far less interesting than I'm trying to make it. But I don't know. These like old gods that are starting to play a bigger part in this series, I wonder if they have already played a bigger role than like we know. Like, because they talk about how Night kind of like disappeared because people were scared of the Night.
Pinky Armando says, first time theory, perhaps the Unmade were representatives of all the original human-like species before Adonalsium broke and they were twisted by Odium. I don't know why they would only be on this planet, though, if that's the case.
Yeah.
I don't know. And maybe they were unmade by Odium, but they were something before. But
Unmade by Odium sounds like a fucking perfume.
I think Blue Sun made that same joke.
Oh, damn it.
Unmade by Odium. No, I hear what you're saying. The Dawn Shard was here. I don't think the Dawn Shard has anything to do with the Unmade, though. The problem is, at this point, here, regardless of all that, at this point, Mishram is already on Odium's side, right? At this point, Pinky Armando says this planet feels a bit like an OG planet. This planet predates Adonalsium being split, for sure.
Yes, because
the singers were not made by a shard.
No, and the wind and the stone all come from Adonalsium.
Yes. No, they predate.
They are like
being made by that system.
No, I don't mean made by. I mean like they exist because of Adonalsium.
Oh, see, I don't think they do. I
That's what Hoyt said, so I don't know.
Did he say that they exist because of Adonalsium?
Yeah, that they are connected to the original before the splintering.
I kind of view them as like the Titans in Greek mythology, like kind of related to Zeus and them, but not really. Although I guess in this case you could kind of say that the shards are kind of like Zeus and them, right? And that Adonalsium was Kronos.
Right.
In a way. I don't know. Although Kronos was a Titan, right?
Yeah.
So that would make sense. They're like minor Titans.
If Kronos
that still works with my
apart,
my vision of it. Yeah, and so then Mishram is like, "Hey, I see you," and so modern Mishram and past Mishram mix, and then we get conversation that I find exhausting because we're so far. Like, how far into this book are we? I just want to. What chapter are we on here? Okay, so we're like 800 pages into the book right now. We're about 800 pages in. Mishram, so Shallan goes, why? That's her question to Mishram. Why? And Mishram's like, why fucking what?
Girl, explain yourself.
And then Shallan goes, why is Odium scared that you can replace him? Just ask the question the first time. How
Stalling
on earth?
For time.
How on earth do you think someone would take you saying a single word question, why, and interpolate that, not to be why are you here, why are you doing this, why, all the obvious questions. No, why is Odium? Who talks like this, Shallan? It'd be maybe, hey babe, why?
Same.
No, and then you say why what? So here, we're gonna try this again. Why?
Why do I want to murder you all?
No, why didn't you hand in your essay in 3rd grade? Why would I guess that?
Yeah, good question.
It's unrelated.
That would be ADHD.
Drove me crazy. And then Mishram, instead of answering we're 800 pages into this book. The plot could start moving. We could start getting information. We're 800 pages into this book. Mishram's response is, how did you know? And then she fucks off. I was like, what are we doing? Why? Why are we still doing mystery box shit? We're 800 pages in. We are 2 full novels into this book, and we still don't know what the fuck is going on in a single fucking plot line. It's exhausting. And it's just so, why? Why what? Why does Odium think you can do this? How did you know? End of conversation. Get to the fucking point.
Yeah.
We're 800 pages in. Get to the point.
I think Shallan is very much like me, where I'll be like, hey babe, do you know...
I know, but you're not a novel. You're a real person. And we're not 800 pages into a conversation that has still not gone anywhere.
I feel like our marriage is like 800 pages in, you know what I mean?
If I was editing this book, I would be like, cut these half conversations. Yeah. Just cut them. You don't need so many half conversations.
No, this stall was very frustrating.
And
for sure.
It just means that, like, we find out that Mishram was nice in the past. Cool. That's it. That's all we get out of this section, is Mishram used to be nice. And then we move on without... This whole half of a chapter is to be like, hey, Mishram was once nice.
Yeah.
It's not enough.
Yeah.
It's not enough to just stop mid-conversation so much so that we can continue the conversation in another part of the book.
Yeah.
It's exhausting. And it's so much of this book. It's so much of this book is these half conversations. And I'm so bored of it. I'm so bored of starting conversations like, oh shit, we're about, oh no, okay, they left. Okay, I guess we'll continue this in day 9 or some shit. Anyway, we cut over to Adolin, who Blue Sun just brought up is kicking ass. Yeah, Adolin is playing cards with a child.
Uh-huh.
That's it. That's literally it.
They play some towers. They talk about tactics.
It genuinely is great. This is one of we've had a couple conversations throughout book club where I've been like, why are these 2 things in the same chapter?
Yeah.
This was a hard. Shallan talks to God. Oh no. And then does that? I think it's the next chapter though, right? Where. Fuck, I have it all mixed up.
No, this is the last chapter, 76, right?
No, 77's last chapter.
That's where I was confused in my head. I was like, wow, so much happens.
No, because 76 is where this happens. Shallan, there's 2 more important things that we have to bring up before.
Shallan gets booped out and leaves a light weaving behind.
She's now able to light weave into visions from the scaffolding. we're
And
really playing in nonsense, like Magic Land.
The Vision can, like, idle like an NPC.
And so they see Maireys choose not to attack her. And
no, they see him hesitate for a moment before. She's like, I don't know, I think he hesitated. He might have hesitated.
I'm worried that Shallan is going to take it as he cares about me and not he noticed that I was idling like an NPC and it was weird.
Yeah.
But Odium is also now paying attention to them.
Yeah.
Because Bowden Mishram noticing them brings Odium's attention. That's the end of Shallan's week. She did nothing. She literally accomplished zilch this whole week, except for some truly contrived conversations with multiple people that I found exhausting.
Pretty much.
Shallan's the worst plotline in this book by so much at this point. I like.
It's very disappointing because I've loved so much about her in previous books. So it's been a drag for sure.
I'm having to invent that her mom's in the fucking book so that I can pretend to be interested in what is the most stalled out.
No, you're probably right about that one.
And here's the problem with Shallan's plotline. If you told me her plotline in a vacuum, I think I'd be like, oh, that sounds like it's really interesting.
Right.
But the way that it is parceled out in this book makes it feel like every time we cut back to her, we're just watching her like literally like churn butter. And I don't know what to do about it, man. It's rough. And I know I love her as a person, but fuck. I am struggling with this plotline. Yeah,
it's definitely the weakest plotline in the book for sure.
And it ends on another half of a conversation that doesn't actually get to the point again.
Yeah,
it's rough. But then we get to Dalinar.
I want to just touch on Adolin real quick one more time because we do find out that the reinforcements are not coming. Emil has turned against. Is it Emil and one other place? I think.
Tashik.
Yeah, have turned against the Empire and are harrying the forces that are meant to come to reinforce Adolin. So they will not be arriving in time. Basically, they made their own deal with Odium for autonomy.
You know what I will say about this?
Not for autonomy, the shard, but for autonomy. That's not confusing at all.
The betrayal reveal is... We should talk more about the Adolin stuff, because Adolin stuff is generally very good. I really like the card scene. Yeah. I'm joking about it. It's a hard flip from the Shallan to the Adolin section, which makes the cards feel weird. Yeah. Because it's like this big moment where it's like, Odium has found you in the spiritual realm. They all split up. The Spren split them up in the spiritual realm, so Odium can't find them, right?
Oh, right.
It's this huge moment where you're like, oh my god, Odium is about to kill our main characters in the spiritual realm. They've had to split up. Are they going to be able to find each other? They don't know how much time has passed. Everything's bad. And then it cuts to, in the same chapter... Adolin being like, so, yeah, if you have the high ground, you do actually have an advantage in war. And I was like, why is this the same chapter? You just went from the highest stakes possible, which is God is about to nuke you in the spiritual realm, to Adolin is literally fucking playing cards.
Yeah.
And it drove me crazy. But then
the actual, like, not the chapter, but the section of the chapter that is, like, Adolin is great. The conversation is great.
His relationship with Yanagon's so cute.
Yeah, the characterization is great.
Gorbachev being like, oh my god, I talked to the fucking emperor. Oh shit, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I was so casual.
Gezimal?
Gezimal, yeah.
That's his name? Yeah.
Gezimal.
And then we find out, we find out that Yanagon can speak all the languages. And so we find out that Adolin, the reason that, what's his face? It starts, Hamask is so dedicated to him is because Adolin saved his son.
In Athena Bothbringer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Fucking banger reveal. I like got chills. I was like, oh yeah,
unreal. Right. This part of the chapter is great.
It rocks.
And fucking ties into like what I love the idea of spending so much time with Hamask being around before this reveal too, so that like it retroactively has all this value. I think there's a lot about this Adolin section. Again, the Adolin section is my second favorite of this. I think the Kaladin's just because there's more action in it. Yeah. Or not action weirdly, but like there's more narrative momentum in this Kaladin's stuff. I think it's a little better.
Adolin is on the defense right now, right? Yeah. It is really hard to make his plotline kind of feel like it's moving forward and that there's momentum to it because they're literally in a defensive position and they're just trying to hold. But I do think that Brandon Sanderson has done a great job of making that interesting and giving us people in this chapter, in this section that I'm really fascinated by and I want more interactions of.
I hate that this is in the same chapter as Shallan stuff. So we get the Hamask reveal. It's fantastic. Love Hamask. Love this. So Adolin catches that there are scribes who are looking for Nura, but seem like they're the head scribes.
They seem very flustered.
So he follows them to Nora's tent, where she reveals that Emul and Tashik have betrayed.
Yeah.
And
the Empire. They use this for Empire.
This is a good moment. It's a cool reveal.
Yeah.
We reacted to it. Obviously, we had a reaction to it.
Yeah, it's been built up over all this time of the divide between the Empire.
You know what would have made this awesome? Really awesome? Is if in Rhythm of War, when we spent all of this time fighting for Tashik and Imul, we had met anyone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it is weird to me to do this betrayal, and it's like, these people you never met betrayed us. And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but I don't need any more characters.
But Jasnah was fighting with them. Dalinar and Rhythm of War, the Imul stuff in Rhythm of War, I get that it was a distraction, but it didn't really do much. And if it had introduced this force a little bit, this moment could have hit so much harder if we had, like, if Jasnah had met a Imuli general that, like, had an impact on her. And we know, like, oh, fuck, that guy betrayed them for that. I just think that it could have, made the Imul part of Rhythm of War, which I felt was a little weak, and just sort of tacked on. They're just there to, like, be like, these characters are in the book. If we had met those characters in those scenes, as opposed to spending time on, like, Jasnah and Wit are fucking, like, that could have been lessened to be like, Jasnah has met this interesting person from Imul, right? From the Imul army. With the general of Imul is a character that we know, so that this betrayal, that we could put a face on it. Because this betrayal, I realized, I was like, oh, he's being betrayed. I don't know by who.
Yeah.
And for Adolin, it's not even someone Adolin has ever met. You know what I mean? Like, so there's this weird part of this betrayal where, like, the Rhythm of War had an opportunity to introduce us to who was about to betray us and didn't take it. I think that's a missed opportunity here.
Yeah.
Because this betrayal sort of is faceless.
Sure, yeah. It's a great moment, but it could be better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Maverin's bring up that the stump is from Tashik. And I'm like, yeah, but the stump...
She's not even there.
She's not there.
She's now in Urithiru. Like, she's not...
No, she's on a boat in Shadesmar.
Oh.
She's not back yet, right?
Right.
Because she was with them. I think this dump is literally on a boat in the Beads, some random place in Shadesmar. Like, God, hope the lore isn't done.
Yeah, like, she had nothing to do with this.
The stump doesn't even know that Imul was in danger. Or no, she knew he was in danger. Stump doesn't know that war's over. None of the people on that boat, those Radiants, don't know about the contract.
They're just chilling.
They don't know about the 10 days. They're just on a boat the middle of nowhere.
They do know because it's at the beginning of this book where they're like, hey, we only have this many Windrunners to fly home. Hoyd gives them some information and then they split ways and then they come back. So they do know about the 10 days. I believe.
Maybe. Okay, so yeah, they're just sitting on a boat like, I hope... Wait, that's so much funnier. They're sitting on a boat like, God, I hope the world exists when we get out of here.
Yeah, pretty much.
They have no idea what they're sailing into. They're gonna land somewhere in Shadesmar, go through an oath gate, and find out if the world exists.
Pretty much.
That's hell.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd be fine for a couple days. Day 4 or 5, I'd be sitting there like, what if the world's over?
Yeah.
What if by the time we get out of here, Odium won? That's heinous. That sucks.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Chapter 77, Aharityam.
Oh, boy. Dalinar witnesses the conversation that Honor and the Radiant, and the Heralds have, where they lay down their blades.
About leaving Talon behind. Yeah. They're like, hey, Honor, can we, like, have, like, half of us do it? And he's like, no.
No, 5 is a bad
sucks.
number.
5 is a stupid number. 5 has no power.
5 is so dumb.
I'm like,
maybe 4 could do it.
I like counting by 5s. 5 is a better number than 4, honestly.
No, because there's 4 Dawn Chants.
No, 5 is just a better number.
And 16 is divisible. Here's the problem. So 16 is divisible by 4. That's why he likes it.
No, I know.
8 and Alcyon.
I know, but I think 5 is a good number, you know? It's like a pea wearing a hat, right?
What?
Like, it's like a pea wearing a hat. It has like a ball cap on.
A pea?
Yeah, like the vegetable.
So a sphere?
Yeah.
I thought you meant the letter P upside down. I was like,
Well, kind of. Yeah.
It's like a bee that's had part of it erased wearing a hat, I guess.
Yeah. It's like if you took the like butt flap of the bee and you put it on its head. Yeah.
A pea? What the fuck is a pea wearing a hat?
A 5.
What kind of hat?
A baseball cap. It goes up like this.
But the pea, so that's that. What's this part?
That's the neck.
Why does a pea have a neck? It's a pea. What the fuck is going on over here? What is wrong with you? What?
Maverick gets it. That's all that matters to me.
I'm gonna lose my mind. Okay, so wait, you're saying a pea, which is a circle, and a hat, which is this.
Yeah.
Chat.
It's the white balance is not. I tried this earlier.
Oh my god.
It's not gonna work.
No, this is unacceptable. You just said the most insane thing I've ever heard. How is it a pea wearing a hat? We simply have to move on. I will be confused for an hour. What the fuck do you mean? It's a 5. Okay, anyway. God is like, hey, heralds. I know the flashbacks Dalinar has been watching throughout this book have revealed basically no information. But I actually don't like you guys anymore. So I'm moving on or something.
So, okay.
Oh, God.
Chat, we reacted to this chapter. Are we missing something?
I listened to it again. It made me angrier the second time.
Did we fuck up? Is there something that we're just not clicking with this chapter?
I hated this reveal because it's so pointless. Like, it doesn't change any, like, I feel like the flashbacks, if this was supposed to be a big reveal, the flashback should have focused on the relationship between Honor and the Heralds more. We only get one scene with them, and then here he's like, I don't care anymore. And I'm like, but why?
He's like, you know what, guys? I don't know. I'm out.
Why don't you care anymore?
I'm out. It's vacation time. And I was like, wait, what is happening? I genuinely we were listening to this, and I was like, what is happening? Like what? Actually, what is happening? I don't understand. We will read and find out. But right now, this moment going into Odium really pissed me the fuck off.
Yeah, I agree. Well, and the next chapter.
That is basically
the next
all
chapter
that
is so cool. It pissed me off.
Yeah, that's fair. That is absolutely fair.
Just take notes on Honor's character. I get that it's going to be important. I understand that. I think
it's just like, okay, Honor sucks as well.
Honor has no honor.
But, yeah, like
I don't know. So then
I'm very confused.
Honor is like, I mean, one of you could hold the oath pact. And so everyone is like, all right, we'll make Talm do it. Why? He's don't get into it.
No, it's just that he's not here.
One, he's never broken. I get that he's never broken. I thought that this moment, I thought the conversation around this moment was going to be sweeping and epic. And it was so
very mundane.
Pathetic. It was so small and like,
and
we're
especially
tired.
Because this moment we see at the very beginning of the entire series. We see this moment. This is the opening moment to the entire Stormlight Archive.
And it's such a like whimper.
Yeah.
It's like
and I think that is intentional, and I am hopeful that it will click in my brain. But right now I'm kind of like, what the actual fuck?
I think that this goes into the like subverting tropes to feel like you subverted tropes but not to tell a better story kind of bucket. Where it's like, see, you thought this was like this really big moment, but it was actually just these like broken people in the moment figuring out that 1 is the loneliest number that there ever was.
I guess. And that Honor sucks. Like, all the shards kind of suck.
And it's like, fuck, man.
Like, God sucks. The moral of the story is that God sucks. That's like...
It was tough. I really didn't... I thought there was going to be some, like, interesting reason why they walked away that would relate to, and this is the problem I have with it. The real problem.
Because it's a fucking honor pact. Honor should be like, what do you mean? No, I am honor. This is honor. You can't fucking break it. Like that.
Yes. Well, they have to give up their honor. But the problem that I have with it is that it is
But they take up the blades again later.
It is less interesting than I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
And also, it doesn't relate to modern day in any way. And it's the consistent problem I'm having with these visions is that this doesn't inform anything about the present. It is just information about the past.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't... Dalinar isn't learning anything that will actually help him in the future fight.
Well, except that the Stormfather's super sus.
And so it's just that these people are broken. And well, no, but it's not the Stormfather, it's Odium.
That's what I said, and you said no.
Until we listened to Interlude 12, and Interlude 12 starts with Odium being like, Odium was busy teaching Dalinar his lessons in the spiritual realm. And I was like, oh, it is just Odium fucking around in the spiritual realm. Like, no, Interlude 12 is like, all of the weird shit going on in the spiritual realm, it's actually just Odium fucking around. It's not even reliable information, because Odium's just teaching Dalinar lessons for some fucking reason. That's the start of Interlude 12. It's literally like, Odium, oh, no. That stuff that you're saying is weird in the spiritual realm, that is Odium. And we're just acknowledging Odium's just doing shit to do shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I don't hate this moment, really. Like, the idea of it being that the Radiants were so, or the, fuck, I keep saying it. The Heralds are so broken and just tortured beyond their limit is interesting. It's not that that's not interesting. It's that this book is so long and the information in it is textbook interesting, but it's not plot interesting. And I need these things to start. We're 800 pages in. And I'm still like, okay, yeah, I guess that's how it went down. It doesn't matter. At this point, that was 7,000, or this was 5,000 years ago. Like, this information doesn't help us or do anything. It is just information. It is information for the purpose of us having more information that nerds can, like, debate and talk about in bars. But it isn't plot. It isn't fucking... Dalinar isn't moved by it. Dalinar's watching it going, I don't know what the fuck that was. I need an anchor. Like, Dalinar is so uninterested in what is going on that this whole conversation, he's like, fuck, I need a new anchor. My honor blade isn't going to work anymore. I need an anchor. Oh my god, the anchor. And I'm like, it feels like this scene should be so important to Dalinar that he realizes he doesn't have an anchor too late. Because he's like, oh, fuck. I was so engrossed in what was happening before me that I forgot about the anchor problem.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Navani, I need an anchor. I just lost it. I was paying attention to the scene. That's not what's happening. Dalinar's like, oh, okay, Honor. Oh, wow, Honor betrayed them. That's mildly interesting. I need an anchor. It's cool that that's happening over here, but I'm actually going to have a conversation with Gavinor and Navani over here, because this isn't that important to me. And because Dalinar doesn't feel that invested in it, I'm not that invested in it, because I'm like, I don't care about the anchor. Make the scene interesting. Dalinar should give a shit, and Dalinar is so unmoved by this. Dalinar doesn't find it surprising. Dalinar isn't that interested. Dalinar is like, I just need to get to the next thing. And because Dalinar feels that way in these scenes, I feel that way in these scenes. The POV character is literally telling me this isn't that important. And I don't think it should be that way. Every one of these scenes should be about Dalinar being so engrossed in this that he's fundamentally changing as a person. And instead we kind of get this weird mishmash of him being so invested in these anchors that I just don't give a shit about and I don't think are that interesting a plot device, that he doesn't pay attention to the scenes that are happening because they're actually not that important to him. And so we just get this weird... It's hard as an audience member to feel like I should give a shit about this stuff. Outside of the, like, oh, interesting, Honor gave up on them before Heretium. That's information I didn't have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Honor just kind of fucked off. Which makes me think that, like,
I don't know.
Honor isn't actually, like, dead. Honor's just on, like, an extended vacation.
I think that Tanabast is dead. I don't think Honor's dead. I think that will be the reveal. But
what do you mean?
I think that the person currently...
No, I think Honor literally just, like, fucked off. Like, genuinely.
Huh. Yeah, no, I think that Honor... But I think the power of Honor is... Yeah, I don't know. I think the Stormlight... Okay, so anyway, the Stormfather's here. He lied about being here. He is here. There's, like, a warping in the air, and Dalinar's like, hey, that's Storm Daddy. And And then Storm Daddy is maybe Odium, is like, I lied to you because you can't handle the truth. And you needed to be lied to because Gavilar was violent, and you were also violent. But I figured if I lied to you, you'd be less violent, I think, or... I don't really get what Stormfather's going for.
I am quite confused. Which is why I was like, chat, like, did we miss something? Feel very lost in the sauce with this chapter. And maybe there's not much point spending time on it right now because I don't feel like I have context. I don't feel like I understand what has happened. Mm-hmm. But I'm a little lost.
And then Dalinar realizes that the Stormfather can be his anchor, and so he grabs Light and he bondsmiths it and he pulls it together and they shoot forward to the scene that he actually wants to watch.
Yeah.
He hits the +10, +10, +10 on YouTube until he gets through the commercial to get to the actual podcast he's trying to watch.
Yeah.
Like me at the top of every Con Cowherd fucking sports talk. When he's talking about McDonald's, I'm like, I don't give a shit. I don't want to hear the ad.
Yeah.
I bought YouTube Premium for a reason. Take my money the other way. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's the day. And it's a tough... Day 6 is rough, bud. The plot does not move forward nearly enough.
Yeah,
for a whole day of this.
It's not my favorite, for sure.
And none of the plots really move that far forward. Like, Zeth and Kaladin's, they get through two more people.
Yeah.
And we have some very interesting conversations. We have some very contrived conversations. But for the rest of the plot lines, literally nothing happens in a whole day.
Yeah.
I guess Sigil loses in Rock 4 in the one POV we get of him.
That is important, but it is very fast, right? That does happen
half a chapter.
Very quickly. And we find out that the reinforcements are not going to arrive. Like, that's not really, again, active, but it is important information. And yeah, it's day 6.
I almost wish in this day structure, each day had one really important thing that happened. And that, like, that was what the day was about. And that... the other things were, like, sprinkled around that one very important thing or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Again, I think that the ideas of this book are truly banging.
Yeah.
Like, I want to acknowledge that, and I want to keep saying it and stress that I do love most of the ideas that are explored in this book, and with the exception of a few that we're about to get to. But I really do think that with a little more time to cook, this book could have been like truly something special. Because of the big swings that it took. Yeah, and they are big swings. They didn't quite hit. Yeah. This book is not quite hit for me, but I do, I acknowledge that we tried. We took the big swing.
I wish that we could do on the first day of Wind and Truth, my true love sang to me. Zeth killed his friend. Interlude 11, Dial. Dial is the granddaughter of that guy, the cobbler that Nail killed 4 books ago.
Book 2?
She is of a race of people that are interdimensional world hoppers. They're living on planet 4. And so those 3 guys that were in that one scene from the Pure Lake that were looking for Wit, they never found Wit.
Interlude forever ago.
They never found him, and now they're leaving.
They're back.
Nonsense. They stalk the little girl into the back room.
Wit draws them a dick pic.
What the fuck is this series?
Which is very nice. I appreciate that.
So they follow the little girl into a back room, and then her mom shows up. Her mom's a Radiant. It's a brief confusion. But then the god of the lake opens up a fucking portal to another world.
Yeah.
And
time to go.
this Radiant is like, hey, it's time to take our go bags and leave to go to planet 5.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone's got a to-go bag, right?
What the fuck is this chapter? What? And look, it's not that it's not cool. It's very cool. What is going on?
What the fuck is it doing here?
It feels like a Star Wars movie where halfway through the movie there's a bunch of aliens show up and are like doing a different plot.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's just a different plot. It's a different plot from a different book.
It's literally the TikTok sound of, Ariana, what are you doing here?
Like, if you told me that this was chapter 1 of Tress in the Emerald Sea, I'd be like, it should have stayed in Tress in the Emerald Sea.
Sure, yeah.
It's like the Weird Lift chapter that is just part of Edge Dancer.
Right.
Like, why do we, this book we're 800 pages into this novel, and we're like, here's some fucking Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy level nonsense.
Yeah, they just bop on over through the water to Shadesmar, and they get a caravan through the fucking cognitive realm to find a new planet.
Where they'll call the local people the owners because they know they're colonizers.
Yeah, hey, they
call the singers the owners because they're the owners of the land that they live on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is that Brandon Sanderson's way of being like, there's a land acknowledgement in my book?
Yeah. Basically, this was so far out of left field that I literally don't even know what the fuck to say about it. Because I was like, wow, this is cool. Why the fuck is this here?
And why is it more interesting than what our main characters are going through?
Fair enough.
I was like, oh, fuck Wind and Truth. Let's follow these people. This is at least interesting. I like Dial. Her mom's cool.
Yeah.
I want to see what happens to the intelligence spread as they're leaving. I want to see how far they can get it.
Like, her mom, like, kind of turns to her and is like, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
He's like, she turns to her friend because she's a radiant. And she goes, we'll see how far you can go.
Yeah.
I've been standing at the edge of the pure lake, long as I can remember, wondering if it is the time. Also, at the top of this chapter, the 3 guys are like, do you think this is the right time? And I was like, oh my god, Brandon, if you introduce time travel into this fucking series, I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
In the reaction, no, he was saying it's the right time for the perpendicularity to open.
What do you mean?
Like, he was like, is it the right time? Like, is the perpendicularity actually gonna open today? And he's like, I don't know. It's like a guess, right? It's not time travel. And I'm so glad it's not time travel. So you guys got who the 3 are? I don't remember them.
They're the dudes from the interlude who were at the Pure Lake, right? And now they're in Iriali.
I think we've met them before, because Demu is a name I remember, but I don't remember from what.
Yeah.
It's Galadin, Demu, and Bayon.
Well, one of them is
Galadon
from
Elantris. Okay. Galadin is the one. I thought Bayon might be from Elantris, but Galadon's from Elantris. Demu is from Mistborn. Okay, Mistborn.
Yeah, I was like, I know the name. I can't remember.
I don't know who Bayon is.
No idea.
I knew it was one from Elantris, one from Mistborn. I don't know who the third one is from. Bayon's maybe from Warbreaker. Because Demu is from Era 1.
Yeah.
How is he alive? Like, I don't know. This is what I mean about, like, if you want to do these World Hopper things, make them a book. Putting them in 2 interludes in Stormlight Archive is just so weird. Yeah. It's just so weird. And to do this huge chapter that's just so insane. It's so big and insane, and it doesn't go anywhere because there's no narrative value to it. It is just so that people who are like Sanderson heads can be like, I understood that reference. That's the whole point of it. Yeah. It doesn't change anything for our characters. It doesn't like move anything on. Anyways, they never met Wit. They were on this planet for 2 years and they never found him. Yeah. And he's in Urithiru the whole time. He's in the most obvious place. They never went there. They're never like, hey, Wit, he's at the center of everything. Maybe we should go where the plot is happening. They never did. They never tried. They just were like,
that we saw.
I don't know, man.
Anyways, this was a really cool prologue to something else.
To something else.
Interlude.
Can't wait to read the novella.
12.
What must be done? Odium is fucking around with Dalinar in the spiritual realm. Instead of just killing him, which he can do, because they're like, if the gods find you in the spiritual realm, they could just kill you. And he's like, I'm gonna mess with you instead.
I don't know if that undermines the
Oh, he can't kill because of the contract. Right.
The Contest of Champions probably is preventing that from happening.
Probably. And so Cultivation is like, hey, buddy, I just sent a strike team to Carbranth to take out your family.
Yeah, you need to stop what you're doing, otherwise I'm going to kill your family. And Odium goes, bet.
Oh, you're going to kill my family?
Bet so hard. I'm not only going to kill my family, I'm going to kill every single living thing in this city.
Which?
Because I can, motherfucker.
And the chapter has to stop to be like, and the reason why Odium is allowed to do this, but isn't allowed to impact the rest of the world in this way, is because Kharbranth is already his, and so his powers are not limited by the god rules that we have to explain every time they come up, because it does seem like the gods should be able to do more, and this time he is able to do more, but in most other situations he can't just do this because of the rules of godhood that are very, very vaguely kind of just like explained when they need to be with these weird exposition chapters. Boom.
So
Clarice was so mad. And she was mad on camera in the reaction. We turned off the camera and then she got angry. Last night I was like, oh god.
I very rarely hate things about stories. I find myself quite often that I can be like, I think I can see where this is going, why this is here. I think that the author is going to take me on a journey that is worthwhile in the end, and I am here for it. I feel like we talked about this in the reaction. I feel like I am more forgiving of things as we go along, but once you have lost me, once you have made a decision that upsets me, it is nearly impossible to get me back. It's why I will just stop watching things.
Yep.
I do not give a fuck. I almost lost my mind when we listened to this, because what the fuck do you mean that we switched Odium over to Taravangian, only to have Taravangian basically be gone within 6 days.
Yeah.
6 days of like a little bit of waffling, but not really. But really not really. Taravangian was still doing exactly what Odium would have done, just with a different font. And then Taravangian's like, actually the one thing that I care about, the one singular thing that I did all this for, I'm actually just gonna fucking murder all of those people so that Cultivation, you can't have an upper hand on me. So Odium being Taravangian doesn't matter anymore. Doesn't matter. Brandon Sanderson said, yeah, no, Odium was like not a great villain because like our characters like didn't really know Rays. So I'm gonna make him Taravangian so that he's someone that our characters can relate to. There's this connection there. Great choice. Fantastic choice. What the fuck? Okay. You undid all of that. Why? I don't know who this character is anymore. This is not Taravangian. This is just Odium. This is the same Odium that I would have seen before. He would have pulled this bullshit.
Well, no, actually, Rays couldn't have done this because the rules of godhood...
Oh, because the rules of godhood means Taravangian, for some reason, has more control over Kharbranth because when he was immortal, he was a king there, which is stupid reasoning. It's dumb. I hate it. I'm mad. I don't like it. I said my piece. I'm done.
I will say, I don't hate it as much as Clarus. But I didn't like Taravangian becoming Odium. Yeah. In the first place, so it doesn't matter as much to me. Because I just never liked this choice. Yeah. I just think this book is a mess. And I think that this book is events that don't tie together enough, and this doesn't tie in enough. It's okay. Kharbranth is gone. That's just a thing that happened.
Yeah, it wasn't even a problem for Taravangian. He was like, that's a little sad. Well, fuck you, Cultivation. Yeah. Like that's really what it felt like. There was no emotional impact of this moment, really. Like if this had been incredibly difficult for Taravangian to do, if there had felt like there was any emotion or passion behind this at all, which is hilarious because that is what Odium is supposedly. Yeah. Is this emotion, this passion. He just does it and is like, now what? Your move. And I was like, okay. What the hell? Like,
yeah, no, I agree.
I hate it.
I think the fall off on Odium, I think the fall off of this whole series for me happened when Taravangian became Odium. Okay. I just think that was it. I think Blue Sun says Taravangian has always been like this. Saving Kharbranth wasn't about Kharbranth itself. It's just a manifestation of Taravangian's ego and control. That is less interesting to me. This is the problem. I think that Odium not caring about anything except being in control is less emotionally valuable as a story.
It's a less,
and it turns him into a force and not a character, which is what I was scared was going to happen to Taravangian. Like, this is exactly what I thought was going to happen at the end of Rhythm of War. It was the thing I didn't like about it, and then it's going down the road of he's just bad. He's just big bad guy. He doesn't actually care about anything. He killed his own kids. He killed his daughter. He killed everybody he cared about, and he is just bad. And that's it. He's not interesting. He's not...
Yeah.
There's
That's the
no
problem.
depth to this moment.
Yeah.
Because it is, the obvious way out of this? I'm going to take the easiest path. And once a villain is, like, bad in a way that's, I'm going to take the easiest path...
Yeah. It is just shocking in a way that
Honor's a bad guy. Teravangian's a bad guy.
Yeah.
The honor bearers were all bad. The heralds were all bad guys.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it undermines the story.
I just think that everyone is just kind of... Everyone that we thought might have been interesting is a piece of shit, is what this series has become. Oh, Gavilar? Yeah, no, he was just kind of a piece of shit. Oh, the heralds? Oh, they were kind of just pieces of shit. Oh, Honor? He was kind of just a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And it's to the point now. Oh, the Amuli? They're kind of just pieces of shit. Like, the reveals in this book are just that people kind of suck. It's just consistent. There's very few people that aren't like our hero characters, that aren't the Colin family, that are revealed to be good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just sort of this weird, like, oh, the bad guys? Yeah, no, they're just bad.
Yeah.
And it's
and that's it. It's like
frustrating because there's
bad.
not depth to them.
Teravangian doesn't exist anymore. Teravangian is odium. It took 6 fucking days.
Yeah,
6 days.
Everyone's just sort of like...
That's nothing.
What's their motivation?
That's so
well,
fast.
he just wants to control because he thinks someone will, so it should be him. All right.
Does
he care about
not
anyone?
That interesting. Yeah. No, well, but he doesn't anymore. The thing that made this choice interesting, making Odium Teravangian Odium, making Todium was interesting because Teravangian actually gave a shit about things, but he doesn't. Yeah. He suddenly doesn't anymore.
What he cares about now is his own ego, and like, and you can make the argument, oh, that's who he always was. And like that was your opinion. My opinion was that he cared about Carbanth, and I loved that about him because I love villains
made it more interesting,
who do care about things.
Yeah,
I think it is more interesting when your villains give a shit about stuff.
Yeah,
and I think it is childish when they don't. Not childish like in that it's bad. I just mean that it is like it's playing with emotions at a child like book level. Like Voldemort in Harry Potter is a villain for teenagers.
Yeah.
He isn't that complicated.
Yeah, he's just evil.
Because it's a villain for teenagers. This feels like YA fiction now to me, in a way.
Oh, yeah.
We're shoving in... look, the gay characters are flirting even though the world's ending. Oh, we're going to talk about all the mental health issues. Like, I have never been in the, like, Sanderson is YA camp, which is what some people say because of Mistborn he is, right? And I don't actually believe that. I think a lot of his books are more complex than that.
Yeah.
But this book is starting to fall into YA tropiness to me in a way I just don't... It's so much, and it's so dense, and it's not the size of a YA book, but we are now at the point where it's like, Teravangian is the bad guy.
Well, and Victor Desana says, just to clarify something, that Teravangian isn't able to do this because he was king of Carbanth, is because he makes a deal with Odium, the End of Oathbringer, which is even more silly to me because it's him making a deal with himself at this point now.
Oh, I hate the...
It's Odium making a deal. It's Teravangian making a deal with Odium, but now Teravangian is Odium, and so I don't like it.
Well, and
I think it's messy in a way that's not clever.
I do think that Brandon Sanderson has a problem of tying all of his story together around, like, God-level contract law, but I don't think Brandon Sanderson writes contract law well. Like, I don't think the Contest of Champions contract makes any sense.
Yeah.
I think that the problem I have with where this is headed is that there's so much telling me that there are these contracts and there's this like there are these laws that govern the universe, and I don't think that those are Brandon Sanderson's strength as a writer.
I have no idea what those things are.
Yeah, they just don't... I don't think they're working. I think that the more gods we're starting to interact with... And this is a problem with the Cosmere for me. The more gods we're starting to interact with, the less interesting takes Brandon Sanderson seems to have on them, because all of them are flawed for the same reason. Like, all of the gods have the same problem now to me. They're all bad.
At least Cultivation, I will say, at this moment, at least Cultivation did something. Cultivation taking action, becoming a bit more part of the story. The conversation of Cultivation not doing anything prior because people grow more when they experience strife and hardship. I do think that was an interesting part of this interaction before the moment kind of overshadows that. But I did just want to throw it out there before I forget that I did I do appreciate Cultivation becoming more of an active part of the story, because I do think Cultivation does have that complexity of, like...
Yeah, I agree with that.
Being a problem and problematic, but also, like...
But what did Cultivation think was going to... This plan was just so flawed. I don't know.
Well, she thought the Terravangians still gave a shit, which so did I. But it took 6 days and Odium took over. Easy peasy. No problems.
Trolled Chaos says, I completely agree. This is the book that made me question whether or not I had aged out of reading the Cosmere. That's interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
I don't know. I'm this is the end of day 6. I'm really struggling with this book. I've gotten to the point where, like, I don't think it's good. It has amazing moments.
Oh, so you changed your mind.
It has amazing moments.
Because you've said this whole time, like, this book is good.
No, these moments are good. There's a lot of good here, and it could be good. But I'm genuinely worried that it isn't. I'm not at the point where I'm declaring that yet. I'm at the point where I'm worried. I'm worried that I'm going to, by the end of this book, feel like this is the biggest, like, whiff of a follow-up to a series that I like since, like, Knife of Dreams. Winter's Heart. Like, it's starting to go down that road of me. I spend so much time reading this book going, why? What are we doing?
Yeah.
And it's really frustrating. I think there are chapters where, like, there are 2 really good pieces that don't work together at all. Like, at all. The Shallan Adlin chapter that I was talking about. Just from a narrative point of view, there's moments in this book where I'm like, what are you trying to accomplish here? It feels like a draft. Like, more than any Sanderson book since, I think, Elantris felt like a draft. This feels like a draft of a book.
I agree. It needed another round of editing, for sure. Because, like you said, there's great ideas. There's fantastic
amazing ideas. And some of, like, the coolest, like, fantasy stuff you'll ever read, right? In terms of, like, concepts. But the execution of those concepts into a book is just it's. And I'm not at a point where I'm like, I'm not going to DNF it. Like, I want to know where it's going.
Yeah.
And, you know, when we finally get to the Sanderlanche of this book and the billions of puzzle pieces start coming together. Blue Sun says Crossroads of Twilight is the one you're thinking of. I'd already given up by Crossroads of Twilight. For me, like, Crossroads of Twilight is the worst book, but I'd given up on the series. Like, I thought Wheel of Time had completely fallen apart by Crossroads of Twilight. This series, like, I had problems with Rhythm of War, but I still enjoyed it mostly.
Yeah.
This, there are things about this book that I'm going, what happened?
Yeah.
Like, but Rhythm of War felt like a dip. What happened?
Yeah.
And now, like, those thumbnails I saw that kind of spoiled my experience a little bit, I guess. But the thumbnails of people being like, woof. And I was like, there's no way. I get it. I get hating this book. I don't. But I think that if you loved the rest of his Stormlight Archive more than I did, I could understand feeling more betrayed by this book than I do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you were, like, deeply, deeply invested and this series was your personality, which it is for some people, I understand why those people are angrier about this than I am. Yeah. Whereas I'm just kind of like, dude, what happened? Yeah. You had the big, like, T-ball. Like, the ball was on a fucking peg for you to knock it out of the park. You just had to kind of wrap it up. Take those ideas that you spin them into something. And instead it was like, oh, what if I try and hit 10 balls at once? And
yeah,
what if I try and set up a different series while also doing this, while also doing this, while also doing this, while also doing this? And I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. I'm baffled by it because there's still great moments. There really is. But this was the worst section of reading of book club so far.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be optimistic about the rest of the book, but, like, I ended day 6 last night with you. I was like, I don't know. I don't know what happened because this just and I'm bored. On top of everything else, I do find this book boring. Even the good parts, I'm like, I don't really care.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because, like, you know, we're doing the show and I love talking about it with you guys. And I hope that this isn't awful an experience. Thank you for showing up the day after Thanksgiving, Americans who did. But I do find this book a little bit boring.
No, anyone have some good Black Friday deals?
Yeah. A little bit boring and just not up to the quality of the previous Stormlight books.
Yeah. And that is a big part of it. You know, I do want to acknowledge there's been so much awesome stuff up until this point that the fall off feels bigger because of what we have to compare it to, right? He Brandon Sanderson can do amazing work, and we know that he's capable of that. And again, this book just needed more time to cook, because I really do think that it could have been fantastic, and it's right now falling flat. But
hopefully day 7 swings it around. We'll be back next Friday, and then I think we're back the Friday after that. And then I think it's a week. There's a week off in there because we're no. We do 7, 8, 9 week off, and then 10, and then on the 31st of December because we're not live the day after Christmas.
Yeah, we are literally flying home that day.
And it's Boxing Day. People are with their families.
Yeah.
But Skepcat says, to be fair, this isn't the first book that had a lull at the midpoint. It seems to be a recurring thing. The problem is that the midpoint of this book is 700 pages longer than... Like, the lull is just longer.
Well, and again, like, there are just more boring parts to this book than I have felt in other books. Like, there is a whole storyline that I'm kind of just like, meh, about. And so I think that makes the lull in the middle feel a little lower. For sure. AJ Jordan says, watch you read Wheel of Wind and Truth had me really glad I read it straight through in a few days. I think it is a book that really suffers from the prolonged reading schedule. Yes, but keep in mind, a lot of people who read casually can't power through all that in a few days.
Oh, I think that if your argument is it's better if you're able to just get through it. I don't think that's an argument that the book for the book. That's an argument for your experience of the book.
Yeah, 100%.
But this book, I think that doesn't change how I feel about it. But I also I felt the same way, about Rhythm of War, or and I honestly Way of Kings. I wasn't the biggest fan of Way of Kings, the way other people are.
Yeah,
right?
No, you enjoyed it, but you had some issues with it.
Yeah. Clarice, what's your high for this book? It's 1:53 and we need to get out of here.
Oh boy, do you want to tell them what high-low is?
Yeah, high is good thing, low is bad thing. We compliment Sandwich. She does her high, I do my low. She does her low, I do my high. It's because my family blended when my parents got married, and we had to figure out a way to not fight anymore. So we did it. We celebrate each other's highs. We commiserate each other's lows. Did I stall enough for you?
Proud of you.
Can you not find a high this week?
No. There were definitely like moments that I enjoyed, and I think the biggest one is honestly Zeth standing up to Nail. That moment, what it means for Nail, for Zeth, for Kaladin to see this happen, right? Like, I think it is just a huge win across the board.
I agree with that.
I got like really hyped in that moment. I was like, yeah, fucking suck it, Nail. You suck.
No, I agree with that. My low is just how little happened for a full day of this book. Just how little moment, like how we learned a couple of things, but how little moved forward.
Fair. Yeah. I think you guys know what my low is. I feel like it is a regression in the series to have Taravangian make this decision to kill everyone and everything he's ever loved 6 days into holding the power of Odium. I just don't like it. And I hope that I'm wrong. I hope I find a way to come to terms with it. But I don't like it. What's your high?
The mask moment with Adolin.
Oh, good one.
I really love that moment.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It is the thing about this book that, like, with Adolin, and he's my favorite character, and so a lot of my favorite moments are him, but the Hamask and Adolin moment felt really beautiful and earned, and I think a great lesson for Yanagon to see that, right? Yeah. Like the value of it, and DK Moon says, it is only day 6. We are 800 pages into this novel. I don't want to hear any it is only. You chose for us to be 800 pages into this novel, Brandon Sanderson.
Yeah.
Make it more interesting.
That is still up to the author.
And I'm not a Sanderson hater. I love his books, man. I just got fucking chills getting Mistborn Leatherhouse. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that I like...
I know. Thank you so much.
I don't hate him. Some people think I'm a Sanderson hater, which I think is so weird. Because I have some of his books on, like, the list of my favorite fantasy books ever. 2 of those. The first and third one there. 2 of my favorite books ever written. Right?
Oh, yeah. Banging.
Oathbringer. One of my favorite books ever written. Like, I don't hate him. I just, like...
Yeah.
I am frustrated with him right now.
Yeah. As a quick aside about Mistborn specifically, I've talked to 2 friends who started reading Mistborn Era 1 kind of recently, and it's so funny. Like, both of them are more like kind of smut fantasy girlies.
Yeah.
And both of these people were like, oh my god, like, Zane? Like, is there gonna be, like, is this a thing?
Because they read weird, like,
well, but that's what
dark
I just mean, like,
smut.
I mean, like our experience of Mistborn is, like, just so, like, not universal, right? Because we're like, fuck, Zane, this is such a stupid, like, aside thing. And, like, my 2 friends that I talked to were like, oh my god, yeah, like, Zane. And I was like, really? Okay, just keep reading, I guess. Like, both of these girls were like, yeah, I don't really like Vin and Ellen together. And I was like, why? Because they're good for one another? But I digress.
Yeah, they're lights out readers, if you know what that means. Skepcat says you love Mistborn 1. I do. I love Vin. Like, Vin is still my favorite. Vin is still my favorite character Sanderson's created. Adlin is second, but Vin is
Pattern is third.
For you, yeah.
I love him, okay?
Do the outro. Hello?
Okay, get the frick out of here. If you liked the video, hit the like button, and if you want to subscribe to the channel, you can do that. And if you want to turn on that notification bell, you can also do that, so you get notified when these videos go live. We're now putting shorts up on the channel, so that's kind of cool if you want to comment and interact with those. Very, very fun. We are going to get the fuck out of here. We'll see you next week with... Hungry. What? What do we...
Day 7.
Day 7.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. There will probably be audiobook reactions. I know there's
at least 3. I saw 3 come in.
No,
there's 1,
6.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 audiobook reactions.
Let's fucking go. All right.
Y'all are mad lads.
Actual
You're
mad
lads.
Yeah.
And Mavrin, thank you for the leather bones. What the fuck?
Seriously, that's so incredible. Oh my god.
Do we even smut corner this week? Where would you add sex to this?
I don't know. I don't.
Like, unless we want to start adding incest between Elid and fucking Zeph, I don't know when characters who could have sex would have been together. Like, I don't want to talk about Kalnan and Zeph hooking up. That feels inappropriate.
Relaine and Renarin, that's already happening. It's hard for us to add.
And Shallan's just watching. Is she a Fujo?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Shallan's Fujoing this game. No,
look, I want
Ba Ado Mishram is watching because we didn't even talk about Ba Ado Mishram clocks that they're holding hands.
Oh yeah,
and is homophobic.
Like... Well, no,
I know it's gonna be she's gonna be like anti-interspecies relationship, but it just I love.
No, she's a homophobe for sure.
I love the insinuation that Ba Ado Mishram's homophobic.
Yeah, she's like gay. Absolutely, that's not a sin.
She's your old relative who's like, what do you mean you are gay?
You like hold hands with your same-sex partner at Thanksgiving dinner, and she's like, really? At the dinner table? Like... Yeah. Jonathan O'Neill brings up a good point. Somebody in Carbon died having sex. What a way to go. Probably. Yeah. No, that's a great smut corner. Do you think there was someone who was like just at the right moment got a woman to come and she's just squirting all over him and he's like, oh my god, I'm getting so wet, and then a wave just fucking demolished it? Probably. There's enough people in Carbon that's possible. All right, everybody, do something nerdy tonight. Goodbye. Bye, guys. Thank you, mods.